I took my first ever sales call about 14 months ago, and since that point, I've closed over $3 million in deals. I started as a setter, I moved up to closer, I've done sales management, and I've also done recruiting for some of the top creators in the space. I've helped over 450 people land their first position, make their first few $1,000 in high ticket sales, and end up quitting their 9 to 5 to do this full time. I'll put just a few of the testimonials we have here in Paid in Full, our sales program. After this video, you guys can go to the bottom of my YouTube, my Twitter. I've tracked my entire journey on literally from my first ever sales call to making 300 to 400K a year in high ticket sales. So I want to make this video tailored to the people that just want to skip all the fluff, they want to skip all the BS and just get straight to the point on how to actually land a role, how to make your first couple commissions, and just giving you the information you actually need to make money, not all like the fluff guesswork. I've seen a lot of other gurus on YouTube make videos like this, but they just throw together a bunch of their old videos and just put like some filler stuff in here to make the video super long to make it look like value dense, but it doesn't really directly correlate with you making your first commission paycheck. This took me a long time to compile because I talked to a bunch of brand new sales reps that saw success in the space and basically asked them, what information do you feel like is most important in moving the needle to getting your first paycheck as a sales rep? And that's what I'm putting in this video. So I'm gonna give you guys an exact blueprint, a 5-step blueprint that you guys can follow from A to Z to make your first couple $1,000 online as a high ticket sales rep. Number one is your mindset. As corny as it sounds, you can literally only go as far as your mindset lets you. If your mindset isn't trained, you're just gonna fall back into your old ways of going back to your 9 to 5 or just doing stuff you were doing before. So this is very, very important. Number two is the appointment setter playbook. This is the first position every single high ticket sales rep should start as, and I'm exposing the entire process on how to appointment set from A to Z, even showing you guys a live appointment setting call that ended up paying in full. No BS. We're literally showing you the scripts. We're showing you everything about appointment setting you need to know. Number three is going to be landing your first appointment setting job, because once you understand how to appointment set, you're pretty much ready to land your first job. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to outreach and land your first job as an appointment setter. And this is also going to be landing your job with no experience. So if you literally just work a normal 9 to 5, I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to land your first position with no experience once you learn how to set the right way. Number four is going to be the closing framework. So once you learn how to set the right way, you get your first setting position, you can become a closer. The reason you don't want to move straight to closer is because if you don't know how to set and you become a closer, it's going to be hard for you to identify what you're looking for from your setter. Number five is how to actually scale your skill sets to over $10,000 months within 6 months. So this is the 5-step plan on exactly how you're going to make over $10,000 a month. I'm literally exposing everything, so please drop a like, subscribe if you guys like this style content, and let's get straight into it. So in this entire video, just give me a few hours. I'm gonna give you guys the exact roadmap in hitting consistent $10,000 a month in high ticket sales. So I'm gonna go through a bunch of stuff: mindset, how to land high ticket offers that'll pay you $10,000 a month or more with no experience, practical skills you need to become a great setter and a great closer, and how to scale beyond $10,000 months. This is the only video you're gonna need in high ticket sales. So stick around, I'm breaking all this down. But first, real quick, I wanna show you guys my come up story. All this is on my Twitter, you guys can see it. So March 15th, 2025 was my first ever set that I ever did. I set like 5 appointments. They ended up closing for like $150 in commission. March 18th, I started to get really good. I started to qualify leads every single day. May 4th, I did $20,000 cash collected as a setter in a few weeks. And then at the end of May, I was doing 60K plus that month. By June 1st, I was making around $8,000 a month in commission. I closed $83,000 as a closer. This is literally after about 2.5, 3 months of being in this industry for the first time, no experience. Then by June 14th, I started to hit $1,000 commission days. I mean, literally, I tracked the entire journey. Like no other guru was doing this. They're all just making up the numbers that they had. I actually did this. I ended up buying a Tesla. By August, I had closed over $400,000. By September, I was doing about $43,000 a week in pure sales. I was making around $4 to $5,000 a week in pure commissions, as you guys can see right here. From September 11th to September 19th, I closed $43,000. And then I started to get really fat commission checks, $40,000 commission checks, $34,000 commission checks, $20,000 commission checks, closing at 69%, 70%, 64%. So I speed ran this entire industry. Then I started to help people get into it, like my buddy Steph. 1 week into setting, he closed $23,000 into setting, so he made like $1,000 a week. I bought a Range Rover, I bought my cars, watches, whatever. None of that stuff matters. It's so doable, and it just happens very, very quickly. And it's not just me. These are also students that started with no experience. My buddy Austin, my buddy Davis, Steph that I just showed you right here. They had zero sales experience. They didn't even know what high ticket sales was and went on to hit $10,000, went on to hit at least $10,000 a month within their first 3-4 months. Commit to this for a few hours and just see where this can potentially take you. All right, grab your caffeine, lock in with me. Let's take notes. But the first thing thing you guys got to understand is what is high ticket sales. I'm going to real quickly run through what even is this industry. Why should you get into it in the first place? Let's look at all the biggest names in the space right now. Okay, let's look at TJR, Iman, Alex Hormozi. What do they all have in common? They all have high ticket offers. So the whole reason that they post content is to sell something to their audience for a high ticket to make more money. High ticket basically means like over $2,000 to $3,000. So if it's over $2,000 to $3,000, it's technically high ticket. So every single day, all these gurus or businesses get hundreds of inbound leads basically trying to buy their high ticket offer. But the problem is these entrepreneurs don't have the time to personally handle every single conversation of people that go in the DMs because they're focused on building their brand, creating content, and actually running their companies the right way. So this is where high ticket sales reps come in. So basically people like me and you will handle all of the conversations of people that want to buy their offer on behalf of them. The influencers basically get attention online. They end up talking to the sales rep, which is me or you, and we convert the sales rep into money, and then we get a commission on everything we sell. So they're inbound leads. So let's just say TJR posts a course online on how to get into day trading, and then a bunch of people DM him on Instagram saying, hey bro, I'd love to learn with you one-on-one. I'd love to see your strategies on how you day trade. Is there any way I could buy your high ticket offer? TJR wouldn't be the one hopping on the phone with him. It would be TJR's sales rep, so me or you, on behalf of TJR, selling him into the program, and then we'd get anywhere from 5 to 15% of that deal that we closed. So the best part is you don't need a degree, you don't need prior experience, you don't need to travel anywhere for this position. I've seen complete beginners step into this industry and within 90 days become closers making upwards of $10,000 a month. If you close a $2,000 to $3,000 high ticket deal every single day, just one of them, you're making anywhere from $200 to $400 per day in just pure commission. You don't do fulfillment, you don't do anything. You literally just talk to leads that already want to buy a product. Take this part serious. A lot of people are going to look at mindset like, oh, this isn't actually serious. We don't need to do mindset, but it's very, very important. This is one of the key factors I've seen on people that end up getting into this industry. We're about to make a shitload of money, but then quit because they didn't have the right mindset. So when it really comes down to high ticket sales reps mindsets, the biggest separator between top performers and average sales reps is their mindset. The scripts, the leads, the products, that's all important. But a dude that really wants to make money versus a dude that doesn't, the guy who really wants to get paid is going to go a lot further than the guy that just kind of wants to get paid. I promise you that. So first thing you guys need to do before absolutely anything is shift your mindset to stop thinking like an employee. Technically, as a high ticket sales rep, you are kind of an employee. You're working on behalf of an influencer, but you cannot think that way. You have to act like you're an intrapreneur, basically helping this person grow their business from the inside out. Most people come into the sales game with this mentality. You show up, you put in your hours, you get paid regardless of your output. You no longer are working a 9 to 5. You are a commission-based sales rep, which means you get paid on the value you provide, which is a really, really good thing. This is going to teach you guys a lot about business, and it's very important to have a job with this sort of commission structure, because as a closer or setter, you're not just trading your time for money, you're building your own business inside someone else's. Every call you take is an opportunity to make money. Every pipeline you have with all the leads in it is your personal asset. That's your personal pipeline of money, and every result is your responsibility. It's completely up to you. So if you think like an entrepreneur, how do I maximize all the commissions I can get? How do I improve every single day? How do I create more opportunities out of these leads? You're gonna rise faster than 90% of people in this industry. The biggest fear for everybody is, oh, it's commission only. So for most people, that sounds terrifying. They want a base pay. There's no safety net. But the truth is that is a gift. That is an absolute blessing. And the second I heard that this industry was commission only, I was so beyond happy because I knew that I could now control my income. This now puts you in full control, okay? You no longer have to make $3,000 to $5,000 a month like a regular job. You guys just saw my come up story. I went from literally working at a restaurant to making $4,000 to $5,000 a week in the matter of like 6 months. That's unbelievable. No other job can do that. If you can close deals the right way, you literally write your own paycheck every single month. Most people are afraid of commission because they secretly doubt their ability to perform. Let's be real. If you're sitting here asking, hey, can I get a base pay, this and that, you are literally just telling me that you are not confident in your ability to perform, which is okay. You got to learn the skill set first. So you just got to, first of all, reframe your mindset to realize that commission only is freedom. You literally can choose your paycheck every single month. That is an absolute blessing. Number two, a lot of people freak out about is rejection in sales, okay? You're gonna get rejected a lot. You're gonna get a lot of doors slammed in your face. You're gonna get a lot of phone calls hung up on you, but top closers see rejection as money in the bank, and here's what I mean. If your close rate is 1 out of 5, every single no just moves you a step closer to yes. So if your average deal pays you $2,000 and you close 1 in 5, every rejection is technically worth $400. Yes, you should try to close every single deal you can, but at the end of the day, if you're closing at like a 30-40%, every single no is just one step closer to a yes. So just understand that rejection is gonna happen inevitably. Not every person you hop on the phone with is gonna buy, but just learn something from every call and just know you're one step closer to that commission. When you're first getting into this industry, success isn't gonna happen when you're closing a $10,000 deal your first day. Success is gonna happen from building the right habits daily. So you're gonna wanna do mock calls. Every single day you're showing up, you're gonna wanna do practice calls. If you're not practicing, you're gambling. Because at the end of the day, all the prospects end up saying the same thing. If they don't wanna buy, they need to think about it, they need to talk to their wife. So just practice. Every single day you should be doing mock calls. You should be role playing with a partner, with a friend of yours that's also ambitious. You should be recording yourself. The goal isn't to sound perfect, but it's to build muscle memory. So when they say certain things, you respond with certain things and end up to get the sale. When you're in a real sales call, the words come out naturally, not like you're reading lines. The words start to come out like you're reading a script, which eventually when I show you guys a live call in this video, you're gonna see what I mean. You're kind of screwed, okay? If you sound like you're reading a script or you sound like AI, you're absolutely cooked. You wanna talk to them like you're a friend and like you're helping them get to where they wanna go. Number 2 is script reading, okay? Many beginners underestimate this. They're gonna say, oh, you know, you don't wanna just read a script the whole time, but you're gonna wanna know the script so you understand the rules in order to break it. So read the script every single day. I'm literally gonna give you guys a free script that you can use for appointment setting and closing. It's not to memorize it word for word, but it's to understand why each line is there. Understand why are we asking the questions that we ask? Why do we transition there? When you see the logic, you're gonna start to understand it. We're asking people, why haven't they taken action in the past with day trading? You're not asking that question word for word. You're asking that question in order to get a certain answer. To where, oh, they haven't taken action because they've been scared, or they haven't taken action because they didn't have time. You want a certain answer to the question. You just want to read the script to understand why you're asking certain questions. And the more you read that script, the more it's going to kind of click. And number 3 is going to be track your numbers. Every single day you should be tracking your numbers. Okay. This is where most beginners fall apart. They think sales is about charisma or luck, which it can be, but sales is actually math. How many calls you booked? How many showed up? How many did you close? You'll have no idea on what to improve. So when you start to track daily patterns, let's just say you did 100 dials for an influencer. You're going to write down with a pen, 100 dials. You're going to write down, okay, 50 picked up. You're going to say I had 15 good conversations and I'm going to have, let's just say 6 calls booked. You're going to want that data every single day so that over time, you're going to have an exact idea of patterns of what you can fix on a day-to-day basis on what made a good conversation versus a bad one. Like for example, maybe you're great at booking appointments, but you're weaker at financially qualifying them. Or maybe you're great at building rapport, but you're really bad at handling objections. There's going to be certain things you're going to want to note. So just make sure that you track your numbers, you track your progress, because that's really what's going to improve you. Even if you suck for the first month, 2 months, but you know all the data, you're going to have everything you need to improve as quick as possible. So at the end of the day, if you guys can take away anything from the mindset, it's do these 3 things every single day when you're first starting, and also understand that there are dumber people than you making more commissions than you. Okay, understand that. There are people that aren't doing research, right? So you clicked on this video, you're taking notes on it, you're actually trying to get into this industry. There are people that stumbled upon this industry accidentally and they're making commissions right now. So you watching this video right now are further along than most people in this industry. Just understand that you are coming for someone's position and you will take it from them, because there are people that are not doing their homework every day. They're not doing mock calls. They're not doing script readings. They're not tracking their numbers. They're just prancing around thinking that no one's going to come up and take their position. But you are here taking notes on this, watching this video. After watching these videos, you are 100% going to be skillful enough to take someone else's position. So just understand that, have that sort of killer mentality, and just know that you do not need to be a rocket scientist to get into this industry. As you guys have probably seen, I'm not a rocket scientist, and I was able to speed run this industry like my life depended on it. So just keep that in mind. Very, very important module. This is going to be the setter playbook. This is everything you need to know about setting. I've been a setter myself. I've hired hundreds of setters. I've fired hundreds of setters. I know exactly how the game works in and out. So please take this module serious. This is the first entry-level position you need to be a high-ticket sales rep. So let's get straight into it. What even is setting in the first place? If you guys go on any sort of guru's YouTube, you're probably going to see some sort of opt-in page like this in their bio. It's going to say first name, email, last name, in order to get some sort of free course or free mentorship or whatever it is. Basically, what happens when you put your phone number, first name, email is it's going to get compiled into a list like this. This list right here is going to be given to the appointment setters, and the appointment setter is going to call up this list and basically try to sell them into the high ticket mentorship. So the whole job of the appointment setter is to get all the people that fill this out, shoot them a phone call, filter out to see if they have enough money and they're actually serious about doing the high ticket mentorship, and book them a call with the closer. You can also do this in DMs too. So basically you can log into the influencer's DM, and anyone that's like texting the influencer, you can DM them to basically qualify them. Same process as the phone. You're basically just filtering out who's serious versus who's not serious and booking them to the calendar. So if I reference DM, you can also do it through the DMs as well. It's called a DM setter versus a phone setter. So your job is to just sit on the phones, call up every single person that's financially qualified, and try to sell them into the program. That's basically your entire job, and you get a commission every single time the closer closes a deal that you set on his appointment. So your job is to set 4 to 8 qualified appointments for your closer every single day in order to get some closes to make commission. Industry Industry standard is you're gonna get about 5% commission. So if you set an appointment that closed that was $3,000, you'll get 150 bucks, and you can do that anywhere from 4 to 8 times a day. So you can make a lot of money as a setter. You don't have to show your face. You literally just do phone calls. It's very, very easy. It's like a 10-minute phone call, which I'm even gonna give you guys an exact live call that one of my setters did to show you guys the entire process. A setter is very, very important. They're basically like the backbone of any single offer, because think about it. You can have the best closer in the world, someone who can turn a 30-minute call into a $10,000 sale, but with no setter, the calendar is empty. The prospects they talk to are unqualified. They aren't serious. They don't have enough money. So it's not about just sending some DMs or just doing some call. It's a real skill set. That's why people are making $4,000 to $5,000, even $10,000 a month as a setter, like my buddy Jaden right here. So when it says how to DM like a pro, this also works for phone call settings. So basically it's the same script whether you're DMing them or calling them. So basically you open up the call with, hey, this is Colby with TJR Trades team. Saw that you opted in to get a free mentorship. Is that correct? So it's basically going to be the same thing whether you text it or whether you say it on call. It's the exact same framework. So I'm going to be talking about DMs here so you guys can actually visually see the script, but it goes the same way with calls. So anything you say in the DMs is going to be the same pretty much process you say on the phone call, except this is actually written out. So how to basically set like a pro. Some setters are making 5K plus every single month, and some setters are making no money. So what's the difference? It's not luck. It's not the influencer you're working with. It's the skill set. In this session, I'm going to teach you guys a $10,000 DM or call setting framework that works every single time, how to open the conversation the right way, how to build rapport, how to qualify them financially, and how to actually call to action and book them on a closer's calendar. So this is the backbone of every high performing setter. If you master this, you'll never run out of book calls. You'll keep making money. If you're working as a setter, you're going to get inbound leads from the DMs, or this basically goes to the phone call setting as well. You'll basically get people that opt in, so you'll have their phone number right in front of your face. So your job isn't to pitch them right away. It's to get them talking. So let's just say you call someone up on the phone. Hey, Jeffrey, saw that you just downloaded our free trading PDF. I'm just kind of curious, what made you want to download this? And so he's going to basically say, oh, I'm looking to get into trading. I'm trying to transition out of my job, and you want to get them to start talking. So the opener is very, very important. So these are 3 opening lines that we always use in our scripts. So this is the best one that I ever see. Other people also use these, but this is the best possible opener that we always see. Hey, is this Colby? Hey, I saw you downloaded our free PDF for day trading. What kind of made you want to download it? And so you just basically open up the call with a real quick opener, just kind of curious on what made you want to get into day trading or what made you want to download this free PDF. This is going to get them talking. It's going to get them to open up. You're not just going to pitch them. Step number 2 after the opener is build rapport. This is where the magic happens. This is where it can make or break you as a setter. Rapport isn't just small talk. It's guiding the prospect through a conversation where they feel seen, understood, and ready to solve their problem essentially. So it's basically a mini sales conversation in the DMs or on a phone call. All right, so here's how it goes. Number 1, you clarify their situation. You need to know where they are right now before you can even lead them anywhere. If you don't know where they are right now, you don't know where they want to go. So right after you do the opening line, hey man, what made you want to download this free PDF for trading? Oh, he's gonna be like, oh, I'm trying to quit my job, blah, blah, whatever. Oh, what do you do right now for work, man? Oh, right now I'm in car sales. Oh, how long have you been in car sales for? You're basically digging deeper. You're trying to get into their situation to see why they even want to change it in the first place, right? Because if they're downloading some free PDF for day trading or a free fitness program, they're trying to change some sort of aspect of their life. So your job as an appointment setter is to dig deep and figure out why they want to make that change. This shows curiosity and gets them to start talking, right? Everyone loves talking about themselves. They love talking about their situation. So let them yap. So step number 2 is going to be find their dream outcome. All right, so find their dream outcome, get them talking about where they want to actually go. So let's just say we're doing a day trading course. All right, so I mean, let me ask you, man, what's the main goal you'd love to achieve? If you really were to give an effort for day trading, what's kind of the outcome you're looking for? We want to clarify that they even want to make a change before going forward. I'd love to really change my situation and I'm not loving my job right now. You really just want to dig deep and find their dream outcome, find their dream goal. And their goal shouldn't be to be making more money, right? It should be, I want to make $10,000 in the next 6 months to be able to help my family out. I have a kid on the way. You want to find real specific goal-driven outcomes, goal-driven dream outcomes that they can actually genuinely see, feel, taste, goals that are right in front of their face that you can help them achieve. So after you clarify their situation, all right, you find their dream outcome of exactly where they want to go. You want to label their problem, right? So there's a reason they've obviously thought about this goal before in the past, but why haven't they gotten there? What's been holding them back? So this is really, really important because this is going to let them know that if they don't make some sort of change, they're kind of fucked, right? Because they've already thought about this, but they never took action and now they're in the same spot. So what's the biggest roadblock? So I mean, let me ask you, man, what's the biggest roadblock from hitting that goal? Like what's kind of holding you back? What have you tried in the past that hasn't really worked? Why hasn't it worked in the past? So he's really going to start to dig deep. Oh, I've tried the day trading free courses, but I've never really taken action. And what this is going to do is it's going to let them know the whole goal is putting them in mind that they've never invested in themselves. Chances are if they're downloading some free shit or they're doing some low ticket program, they've never invested real money into themselves. So the whole goal here is you're going to want to let them know is you're really just trying to figure out why they haven't invested in themselves in the past, what you feel like is holding holding them back, why they've never tried anything serious, and just help them put into words on what's holding them back, okay? And chances are it's just gonna be that they're just fearful, they just haven't done it in the past, and if you play this off the right way, which I'm gonna show you guys a live call, you're really gonna like it. So now you have some rapport, you have some information on these people, so now you actually have the opportunity to pitch what you guys are trying to sell in the first place. So number one is validate and reassure. So let them know that you understand their situation and reassure them that help does exist. Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from, man. You've tried a bunch of stuff in the past. It's never really worked because you haven't really put your full effort in. We can definitely help you out with that. Show social proof, all right? People buy proof. People want to make sure that it's actually going to work. Share a quick story. This is something that I always did. I would always share a quick story either about myself or about somebody that I knew. Like, that's actually funny. Sarah was in a pretty similar situation. She was working at a restaurant. She didn't really have enough time, but within 30 days of her giving us her full attention and effort, she was able to make her first like $4,000 to $5,000 a month from trading. And so now you can kind of invite them because now they're a little bit curious. You're not pushing anymore. You're simply opening the door and making the next call feel like just a logical step for their journey. So you basically can say on the call, once you've gone through everything, you can be like, hey man, I don't know if you're open for this, but we actually have like a 30-minute consulting call with one of our head coaches if you're down to kind of see the next steps, if this is something you really want to take serious. Would you be open to a call with one of our head coaches to kind of see if the next steps are even a good fit for you? So you see how that's kind of open-ended. You're not pushing them. You're literally just opening the door for them, and they're probably going to be like, yeah, I mean, honestly, this seems great. This seems like something I could actually do. This guy seems genuine. He really wants to help me. And then you get him in. But at this point, you don't know if they're qualified, right? What if they're dead broke? What if he has zero money? Chances are they're probably financially qualified. Most people have money. If I had a duffel bag of $50,000 right here, and I asked literally anyone in the world, if you could give me $5,000, I'll give you this duffel bag of $50K, they'd figure out a way to get that $5,000, right? They'd call their mom, they'd call their aunt. So usually they're financially qualified if you can just play your cards right, but you're gonna wanna make sure for your closer. This is where most new setters fail. They're good at building rapport. This part's easy. If you're well-spoken, you could really just chop it up with anybody, talk on the phone, see where they're at right now, see why they haven't made a change. But when it comes to qualifying the lead, people get awkward with it. They think booking the call is the goal, but if you book unqualified people that have no money, you're gonna end up with a full calendar that never closes. The closer's gonna be pissed at you. You're gonna make no money. It just sucks. All right, they have to have money, right? You're not running a charity. When you're asking certain questions like, what are you doing for work right now at the moment? And you're kind of asking for their goals. In there, you can slip the question of what's kind of your revenue at right now? What are you making per month right now? And from this, you can kind of figure out exactly where they are, where they want to go, and you can also figure out if they have money. Chances are, if they're making like $4,000 to $5,000 a month, they probably have a little bit of money saved up. So if they don't meet your criteria, you can skip them. If they say, I don't really have a job or anything like that, they're probably completely dead broke, and you can just send them some free materials onto the next lead. But we're only looking for people who believe in the vehicle and are ready to start now, right? So you got to ask them on the call as well. I mean, when are you really planning to start and take this serious and really make that jump? Like, when are you actually trying to give an effort? And chances are, if they're actually serious about it and opting in, they're going to say right now, man, I really want to do this, and just really make sure that they're financially qualified. So you want to make sure that they're motivated. This is a really easy one, but when it comes to financial qualification, you're going to want to make a reason for it, right? So if you're selling a day trading program for TJR Trades, you're going to want to say, once you've gone through the whole call, you've built rapport, and you're going to want to say something like, well, obviously, man, it takes money to make money, right? In day trading, you obviously know you need capital to invest to actually make money with day trading. So, I mean, how much do you have set aside right now to really do this full time and actually make this happen? If you say that in a genuine way, they're not going to lie to you. They're probably going to be pretty honest with it. If you say something like, our day trading course costs money, so how much money do you have? They're obviously not going to be truthful. If you say something just genuine and honest, like, obviously day trading costs money. If you invest into crypto, you have to invest money up front and able to do this, right? So how much money do you have to invest to make this happen? He's going to be pretty honest with you, right? Because you've been honest with him the whole time. So if he says anything like, oh man, I really have no money saved up, most likely he's going to say, oh, I have, $1,000 to $2,000 saved up. I could probably invest into this. Perfect. Boom. Book the call. Perfect. That's a great lead. Book the call. But if they say something like, oh, I spent all my money. I just had to fix my car. I literally have like no money to my name. That's not a good lead. So you want to make sure that they actually have money up front and book them a call. So if they do have money and everything fits and they say, oh, I have $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000 to $4,000 to invest, now it's easy. All right, you booked the call, you qualified them. It's just logistics. You're going to want to hold your frame when booking the call, right? You're going to want to be something, you want to say something along the lines of, our head coach does have a time in about 4 hours. Does that work for you? I know it's kind of quick, but all right, we're usually super busy, but our head coach does have a little bit of an opening in like an hour. Does that work for you? All right, great. I'm going to schedule it right here. What's your best email so we can send the confirmation? All right, and just real quick, confirm that call. And all right, real quick. All right, so you got the email. All right, confirm that call real quick on your calendar just so you don't forget. And I'm also gonna send you 2 videos I want you to watch. It's really gonna help you before the call. It's gonna help you understand the terminology and everything about the business model before the call. So make sure to watch those 2 videos. You wanna make sure that they got the email, they understand the time, they've actually added it to their calendar, and you've given them free resources as well so they feel like you're actually helping them out. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as appointment setting. It's fairly easy. So just to go over everything again, you open it up, you build rapport, you qualify the lead, and then you book book the lead. It's really as simple as that. It's really like a 10 to 15 minute process. You do that 4 to 8 times a day, you're gonna be making some money. The influencer provides the leads. You don't gotta go out there and find the leads. They're literally right in front of your face. You call them up, you qualify them. If you're a well-spoken person, this probably seems like cake to you. Key performance indicators, this is basically your quota that you have to hit every single day. So there's one thing that matters above everything else, and it's not how many hours you sit at your laptop, it's your KPI. It's actually your performance. So you're gonna wanna know your numbers and always perform them well. So DMs sent or calls made, realistically the KPI is you should be doing about 100 to 200 dials every day, and that in turn is gonna book about 4 to 8 really qualified money ready people for the closer. So to boost this KPI, set a daily minimum, have a minimum for yourself. If you really wanna be a top performer, look at what the current top setter is doing on that offer and just double the output, right? So if he's doing 100 dials a day and he's making 5, 6K a month, if you do 200 a day, you're gonna make 10 to 12K a month. Connect to conversation. How many calls that you dial or DMs that you send are actually turning into conversations? If you can actually know this number, you're gonna know exactly how many DMs you're gonna have to send, how many calls you're gonna have to make to actually get a booking. To boost this KPI, don't sound like a bot. Just use casual, short lines, just like I was showing you guys earlier. Follow up 2 to 3 times a day. Let's just say someone didn't respond to your DM at first, shoot them another DM. If they didn't answer your call, shoot them a text. Just make sure that you're actually doing everything you can to get them on the call. KPI 3 is appointment sets. How many conversations actually turned into book calls? The ideal benchmark is about 20%. So about 1 out of every 4 or 5 people that you get on the call with are going to be financially qualified and actually motivated to do this. So if you talk to 10 qualified inbound leads, about 2 of them are going to end up actually booked. Just over statistics. Make the next closing call just feel like the next natural step. Don't make it feel like they're gonna 100% get sold. Just make it feel like if everything checks out and everything really works, we'd love to get you on the call, because the closers are talented, they're gonna sell them. So just make sure that they have the money, they're motivated, they show up to the call, and you did your job. KPI number 4 is percentage of qualified leads. So how to hit your KPIs and make sure you're hitting your quota every day as a setter is very important. So reverse engineer your KPIs. So start with the end in mind. If you need 10 calls booked a week, which is really light, you're gonna need 100 conversations. So instead of stressing, how do I book 10 calls? Just ask yourself, did I have 100 conversations? If yes, the numbers are gonna work out. If no, you're gonna know why you're behind quota. So if you literally just every single time you do a dial, you do a little mark right here with your pen, do 100 every single day, you're going to hit quota. The setters who hit quota stay, get promoted, and make money, end up being closers. The ones who don't hit quota are cooked. They end up getting fired and going back to work their 9 to 5. When I started as a setter last year, if I never hit my quota, I'd never be in the position I am today. So just make sure you're working hard and understand that setting is not always about the money. It's about knowing that you're gonna get promoted in the future and make a shitload of money in the future. Checking DMs randomly over Netflix episodes aren't gonna get you there. You need power hours. All right, do block 2 hours in the morning for openers, block 2 hours in the afternoon for follow-ups, save 30 minutes in the evenings to clean up conversations, do follow-ups, make sure everything's okay. Really give a fuck about this. If you're a good setter on a team, dude, they're gonna treat you like gold. If you're booking 4 to 5 qualified appointments, they're paying in full, they're good prospects, they trust you, you're in a really, really good position. Track your numbers daily, make sure to take notes. Hey, I kind of sounded like a robot for the financial qualification, I can fix that. If you don't track your KPIs, you're cooked. Make sure you're actually doing everything you can to track, improve every single day. I've seen setters literally double their results in a week by just tracking what they've already done. And then position yourself for a closer promotion. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to be a closer. Closers are promoted from setters who master 2 things. They constantly hit their KPI, they're proving to the offer owner that they can actually do their work, and they show their interest in the company. All right, you're not just working in a job, you're investing in the entire mission of the business. So learn the offer in and out, not just surface level, but understand everything about the offer. If it's day trading, learn the lingo, understand who the creator is, understand the creator's background, learn everything, listen to the closer's calls, notice how they handle objections, share feedback with the team. I noticed a lot of prospects where, in their 30s, we should do marketing towards more 30-year-olds. Be the person that goes the extra mile, updates the CRM, sends reminders, calls the closers, talks to the closers. Just be the guy that's actually giving a fuck about everything, right? Just don't be the person that just doesn't really care. You only respond once a day to the closer. You're not really communicating. Just actually give a fuck, do the extra mile, and you're gonna get promoted to closer. So this is the setter playbook from A to Z. Now I'm about to show you guys a live call from one of my setters that actually set a call that paid in full. So let's get into that live call so you guys can actually see from A to Z what my setter did live. All right, so this set that I'm about to show you guys is from my setter that works for me, that basically was closing somebody into my program. My program essentially guarantees placement with high ticket sales. I basically work with a bunch of massive influencers, help them find, source good sales reps, train them up, make sure that they're actually talented, and then place them directly onto offers. So this is for one of our offer placement programs. He basically wanted to get training and then get guaranteed placements and job opportunities. We have over like 160 different high ticket sales opportunities a month we hire for. So we always need good sales reps. So if you guys want to apply to this program, we have over like 450 student results. Click the second link in my bio. So for the setting call, that's some context. Keep in mind that this setting call is not perfect also, by the way. The person who made this setting call probably started high ticket sales about 30 days ago, I think. And she's already making about $8,000 per month through setting. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
Hi,
This is Tao.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah,
Colin. My name's I'm from Colby Lyman's team for high ticket sales. How are you doing?
Okay. I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm good, man. Yeah, saw you filled out a form not too long ago expressing interest. I'd love to hear, about what got you interested in high ticket sales.
So bam, quick little opener. Is that hard? No, very, very simple. And just get him to start talking, get him to open up about a situation. And notice how she stops talking right after this opener.
I don't know. I guess I've tried about everything else, just haven't really put my head down. I guess I've still kind of into the stock market and stuff like that. And, I think high ticket sales would be my niche. I'm good at communication. I can talk a lot. I don't mind talking on the phone all day, really. Girlfriend always complains that I talk too much, so.
Okay, lovely, man, lovely. So you've been looking into high ticket sales, and how do you come across like Colby? Is there anything specific that got you interested in
TikTok, and then I started looking into it on YouTube, and Kobe, I kind of started watching him.
Okay, lovely, man. And what specifically were you looking for some help on? Were you looking for help getting started in the industry?
Yeah. I guess I could kind of look for help, get kind of a head start on things.
Okay. Lovely, man. And fill me in. What are you doing now? What are you doing now for work? Are you student, working? What's your situation?
So perfect. You go through the opener, you build a little rapport, you ask what they're currently doing right now and why they haven't made a change in the past.
Well, I got laid off because I have some medical stuff going on. So I haven't been really I'm gonna have to put you away real quick here in like a minute because I gotta pay for my food here. But I got laid off, so I'm kind of jumping around jobs for now until the doctors figure out my medical shit going on. So now I'm kind of just putting in garage doors, and then on the side I'm detailing cars. But
you said you had gotten laid off and you're jumping around jobs. So you're doing car detailing and what?
Putting garage doors.
Okay. These are just kind of like some side gigs.
Yeah, kind of. I'm not making really steady income, I guess you could say.
Okay. And what were you doing before?
I was a field tech, so a diesel mechanic.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You were a mechanic.
Yep.
Okay, and how long were you doing that for?
I would say 2 years.
Okay, 2 years
Ever
doing
since
it.
I graduated.
Okay, so you were at the job for 2 years. Circumstances kind of let you, away from that.
Yeah.
When you were working the job, or even right now, like what's your income look like? I know you said it's not steady, it's up and down, but how much are you kind of bringing in?
So just the biggest thing, this is not a perfect setting call, but she just sounds human. She just sounds like she actually cares about this dude. She wants to help him out. What she actually does, she just literally asks, so what's your income kind of look like now? She's just getting goals, getting an understanding of his situation to see if we can even help him. At the end of the day, you don't want to be a sleaze bag salesperson. You want to actually help the person across the phone, and you want to see if whatever product you're selling can actually help these people, okay? If you're selling with the intent to actually help people, you're going to make so much more money in the long run than just trying to get like a sleazy commission here and there. Actually care about these people, actually try to help them, and it's going to resonate with them on the phone.
Not what I'd like, I guess. Probably maybe $2,000 a month. That's like pushing it. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so yeah, it just depends, of course, on the jobs and everything. Okay, and I guess like when you were a mechanic and even doing the stuff you're doing now, like do you enjoy what you're doing now? What's it been like?
Okay, sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, like when you were a mechanic or even doing the stuff that you're doing now for work, like do you like doing it?
So by asking certain questions like, do you enjoy what you do for work right now? How long have you been doing it for? You're basically just finding their pain points, right? So he's going to open up about his job, kind of say that, I don't really like working with my body. You just want to get them to start yapping and start talking about their situation so that you're not assuming that they don't like their job. They're telling you they don't like their job.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess I've always been into wrenched on things, always trying to fix things, but I hate working for people. It bothers me. I want to be financially free. Like I try to look like my girlfriend. She's a So I'm 19. I graduated 2 years ago. My girlfriend's gonna graduate this year, and I try to look at if I start a year from now, maybe I'll be financially stable enough. She wants to move, and I kind of look at the big picture of things.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to, have to tell my kids I can't buy something. I always want to be financially free and be my own boss for myself. A lot of bosses, at least, I don't see eye to eye with them all the time. So,
Yeah.
like if I want to take a day off and if there's an issue, then, I kind of just be like, all right, well, I'm doing what I want to do. So,
Yeah.
not that
Okay.
I always take days off. I never get days off. So, when I do, it seems to be an issue. So, I can't stand that.
Okay, got you, man. And how long had that been going on for? Has this been like a consistent feeling where it's like?
Yeah, probably for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. And what changed for you? Like, why?
I really don't know. I think, I did move drilling rigs for a while. I don't know. You might not know what that is from where you're from, but yeah, I live in North Dakota, so it's very small town, a lot of oil.
Mm-hmm.
I moved drone rigs, which is very demanding, hard blue-collar work, and I think that's kind of what did it for me. So I was a diesel mechanic for 2 years, and then they wanted me to go out in the field and work on the oil rig, so that's what I started doing, and it was really, really good money. I was making good money, but it's just demanding, and then I try to think about, like, I'm not worth, $30 an hour. I'm not worth none of that.
Okay. And what impact has it had on you, like, having to work those jobs where that was like the reality, knowing that you're worth more?
So these questions, what impact has that had on you personally? That is part of our script. If you guys want to see our script and download it completely for free, click the first link in our bio. We have a free community for high ticket sales. We give away our scripts and everything completely for free. If you guys want these high level questions to really dig deep into their pain points, click that first link in the bio. It's completely free.
Yeah, it's just with that job, I was waking up, I was always on call, so I'd wake up at 2 in the morning and I'd work for 20 to 25 hours straight. It was very stressful, and it's hard on your mental, definitely. I mean, every job is, you got to put your head down, work, but I don't know. I personally, my parents are not like that. My parents have always been really have good money, but Dad's always been in the oil rigs, and Mom's always been a stay-at-home mom, and I've tried to get Mom into kind of my mindset, I guess, of, working online, because we have so much opportunities nowadays, and she doesn't understand really a lot.
It's always hard for parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense, man. Makes sense. And for you, I guess, why is now the time to take these steps, right? You've been feeling this way for the past year or two. What's motivating you to actually take this step to get into high ticket sales, the online making money stage? What is it for you right now?
I guess kind of what I said. I guess I just want to be financially free. It's not that I don't want to have to work a day in my life. It's just that I want to be my own boss. So I kind of want to choose, what I do, and kind of, I guess, experience more on the business side of things. I was looking into getting into more car selling and stuff like that to get into more business side of things. I just want to experience it.
Okay.
And like I said, if I start now, I look, if I tried, I was doing drop shipping for a little bit. I didn't make any money off of it, but I was just kind of messing around with it. And I did that 2 years ago, and if I started now, on anything, if I started 2 years ago, I probably would have been fine by now. And I know I need to start now, or I'm going to keep delaying it, and then I'm going to wish I would have started sooner.
I mean, this is just absolutely textbook, right? He is saying everything that we need him to say because of the questions that we asked, right? Is literally, just why right now? You've been thinking about this outcome for a while, so why right now do you want to make a change rather than 6 months ago, a year ago? And he's literally just telling us, well, if I started 2 years ago, I'd probably be in a better position, so right now is the best time to start. Literally textbook. So it's not that hard, guys. It's not rocket science. You're just asking a few small questions based on the script, getting the answers you want, and then obviously this guy's going to close.
Okay, got you, man. So that's that, trying to get started now and, just get the ball rolling. And do you have a consistent monthly income goal you're looking to reach?
Well, it depends, I guess, what time period.
I guess 6 months.
I would say at least 4 to 5K a month,
Okay.
maybe.
And how would that change things from where they are now?
That's a good question, I suppose. I think I would feel more free, I guess. I'd be a lot more happy because this is what I've always wanted to do, and I finally put my foot down and did what I want to do.
Okay. Lovely, man. Lovely. So if you've, looked into Colby, right, what it is he does, right, we do offer a space. We have training, job offers, guaranteed placement. It's really everything you would need to be successful in high-ticket sales as long as you're willing to put the work in on your end. Because at the end of the day, we can't do it for you. We can just give you the help, right?
Right.
So all that said, obviously, it does come with a financial investment piece. Only you fully know your situation, right? So kind of based off what you're working with right now, how much do you have access to currently to invest into something like this, if everything sounded right to you?
Right now, to be safe, I would say maybe 800, maybe. I got a lot of bills and stuff going on, so I kind of got to watch that.
Okay. So 800's a mate, it's in reach for you right now. It's just, you want to learn more about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
5 to
sense.
800 right now. Just I don't want to spend any more and then screw myself because I do got a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff I'm paying for. So.
Okay. So let's do this. It would make sense for me to just book you in on a call with someone, to just walk you through things a little bit deeper, about the industry, what it is we do, make sure we're in a spot to actually help you reach the goals that you and I kind of walk through on this call. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Sure.
Okay. Lovely, man. Give me 1 second.
What do you do? Do you do high ticket sales for Kobe or what? I know how this works. I've tried trading. I've got a lot of calls. Do you like it or what?
Yeah, I love it.
When did you start it?
Have literally the investment that he wants to make. He's comfortable making that investment, and he's literally asking him, "Are you a high ticket setter? Do you do sales as well?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do sales." I mean, a lot of people will be like, "Oh no, I'm Colby's head coach. I don't do sales." They know what's up, right? Obviously, you're doing sales for him, and that's not a bad thing at all. You can be totally open about it. He's asking her, do you like doing this? Do you feel like it's a good fit? What's kind of the process? So you can be open about it. Some of you guys are probably gonna hop on a call with my setter after this video, and literally you can ask them, do you like high ticket sales? Is this an industry you feel like I'd be good at? There's no point in kind of lying with the process. I've seen a lot of setters. Sometimes I'll funnel hack people, and the setters, I'd be like, well, how do you like appointment setting for blank? And they'll be like, oh, I'm not an appointment setter. I'm a head coach. I'm a student success manager. It's no, you're not. You're a setter. So, I mean, just being honest is really important because at the end of the day, there's a lot of dishonest people in these industries. So if you're just open and transparent, it's going to be a lot more genuine when you want to help these people.
Started.
Me, this year. Mm-hmm.
And you're liking it though? Yeah. I heard once you get it down, because I'm not really a good business talker, I guess I could say, but I can talk. I can definitely hold a conversation, right? But
8:20 now. Want to do 11:30?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Soonest,
Will you be home? It's about an hour-long Google Meet meeting. Will you be home and in a quiet space?
Do I have to be on a computer for that? Because I'm currently moving, so I'm living with the girlfriend, so I don't have my
No,
computer.
you could do it on your phone as long as you download Zoom.
Is that the soonest? So None of my parents, when I tell them this, they don't I don't know, they don't
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not that they don't believe me. It's just that they're like, that's a scam, or you're not gonna do it, or something like that.
Literally, that's my family.
So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get motivation, I guess. But my girlfriend kind of was like, pursue your dreams, do what you want to do what makes you happy, I guess. So.
I agree. You have
but
to.
Yeah, I got that email.
Okay, lovely, man. Lovely. You've been a pleasure. If you have questions or anything about the industry, right? Bring those to him. You speak so well, your personality, you have a big reason of why you're doing things. So I really think that you'd be great. So definitely, ask him those questions. Get clarity on things. He'll walk you through everything and what it looks like. I'm going to shoot you a text on my personal phone number as soon as we hop off. I'll text you from a 908 number. And then if you need anything between now and your call, just let me know, okay?
I mean, hopefully you guys, when you're listening to this, there's some light bulbs going off in your head just thinking, oh, I can do this myself. This is not that hard, because it's not, okay? I made my first couple setting calls with zero sales experience and was able to make like 3.5K my first month. It's very, very simple, okay? Once you have a script that works time and time again, you say the same thing on every single call. So that call alone was probably valuable enough for this entire video, because it literally just gave you insight. So despite everything else, you guys could literally just copy that word for word and probably be the best appointment setter on your team. That is stuff that we teach inside of our Inner Circle program. So Hannah was one of our students. She joined the Inner Circle. She learned high ticket sales in and out, and then within a month she was already doing appointment setting and crushing it, making a lot of commissions. So she's an example of what you guys could do. So you just learn high ticket sales, you get placed directly on one of our offers, and then you start to make money. So it's fairly simple. Yeah, our program is also kind of a no-brainer. We literally just train you up, give you the exact scripts that you need to be good at appointment setting, and then place you on an offer. So it's kind of a no-brainer. But yeah, there's a lot of different offers. There's day trading offers, there's fitness offers, and you basically can just use the same script on every single offer you ever work on. So I recommend just saving this video, listen to the setting call over and over again to get it to stick in your brain, and you guys are gonna crush it. So part number 3. So once you guys learned the mindset and you learned how to do the appointment setter playbook, the next part would actually be getting an appointment setter job, right? So now you guys kind of understand everything. We're gonna go into closing later, but if you're brand new into this industry, you should start by getting an appointment setter job to understand everything. You're gonna wanna start by landing your first offer as a setter, right? So I'm gonna show you guys exactly A to Z, how to land your first offer position from A to Z, every single method that you guys will need to know. Yeah, this is kind of my bread and butter. I've helped so many people land their first offers. Make sure to take notes. This is definitely gonna help you guys. This is method 1 of 2 on how to find business owners doing a lot of revenue per month. When I say a lot of revenue, I mean the range of 100K, 500K to $1 million a month, anything over $100,000. This is how you find them. So step number 1 is you're going to want to go to facebook.com/ads/library. Why you want to do this is because you're trying to look for people that are running profitable ads for month after month, because what that means is that they're probably doing a lot of revenue. Okay. So I'm going to start by, let's just saying, trading mentorship. Okay, there's been a lot of day traders that are looking for sales reps. They're selling programs. So we're going to find someone that's running ads on how to become a profitable trader. Okay, right here. MTB traders, unlock your trading potential. I guarantee you they have so many people that apply to them every single day. But the issue is that this person started running ads April 13th, 2025. So that's only been a day and a half. We don't know if this is profitable. We're looking for the people that have been running ads for months on months, because we know that those are profitable ads, because if they weren't, why would they keep running them? So we're going to go to filter. We're going to go to since February 1st. Okay, apply one filter. We're going to go 2 months in the past. Even though I looked up trading mentorship, there's a lot of different people. This dude is doing Amazon FBA for beginner. He started running this January 29, 2025, and it's still running. It's still active. This means that it's profitable. So this guy right here, take your pen and paper, write him down, okay, above the bar. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to collectively pile about 50 to 100 people that you potentially could be a sales rep for, okay? So write this down. Go through all of these people. This is inactive. This is inactive. This is active. Started running January 27th. This is another one. These are all people that are selling courses. They have a opt-in section, okay? Write down all of these people that are currently running ads, investor trades, all these people, write them down, because they're all potentially a good fit for you to be a sales rep for them. This is all you guys need. Everybody likes to overcomplicate stuff. This is how you do it. So write down a bunch of people. This is the second method. This is less effective, but it could be a way to find an up-and-coming creator that could make a lot of money that you could get on early with. This is the how to start method. I don't think anyone has talked about this, but I've talked about it a few times on my channel. You basically search how to start on YouTube. You click recently uploaded. I've talked about this a bunch of times, but you can do it every single day to actually find people. So right here, how to actually start reselling in 2025. So this is a potential person who could blow up in the next couple weeks, next couple years, and you could get on their sales team early. But yeah, basically these are all good examples. You want to keep scrolling down. How to start trading trend lines in 30 days. Very specific video. 39,000 views. She definitely has a ton of people. Join my community. But basically just write all of these people down. Okay, Tory Trades, write it down. Okay, these are all people that you are going to end up specifically outreaching for. Okay, so write all these people down. Find their Instagrams, find their emails, find everything you possibly can about them, because you're going to use that to do outreach in the future. Your Instagram or Twitter. Okay, so once you've used these 2 methods and you've compiled a ton of different people that you want to work for, you can do 50, you can do 100, it just depends on how many you want to do. The next step is going to be outreach. This is going to be one of the most important parts, and this is also up for interpretation. So this is what I have seen, and this is what has worked for my community and my students time and time again is basically creating a very well thought out, quick Loom video. Okay, everybody's heard of Loom, everyone does it. But the difference is that you have to make it short and sweet. These people, they don't really want to go out of their way to open Looms unless they're actually attracted to what you're going to do for them. You have to make a Loom video short and sweet. I always say under 2 minutes. You go through your experience, you tell them how you're going to help them make more money, you go through what you've done in the past, and then you basically drop your phone number. If they're interested, they can reach out to you. My buddy Yuli made a Loom. He got like 14 job offers in the span of a week, so we know for a fact that this works. This Loom can be found in my free Discord down below. Just go in the how to land an offer section. It's completely free. It's basically an exact Loom video. You guys can follow the exact format on how to do this Loom.
Hi guys, my name is Joe Thorpe, and I'm just going to get right into it and tell you why you're going to want to hire me as your next setter. So, currently 27, living in Washington, D.C., Eastern Standard Time, and I'm seeking a full-time setter position. So, currently working as a door-to-door roofing sales rep, and I was promoted to a trainer with them, and I've set some good records with them as well. So, most sales in a month, most sales in a day. So far working with them, I've generated $572K in revenue, and I've collected $336K in cash, and you can see that all here. This is my pipeline. And here's some reviews of the people I worked with. You know, this lady spelled my name wrong, but, you know, I guess she didn't mean it. So previously, I was working as a carpenter and a musician until this year in 2025. I just said I couldn't do it anymore. I needed better opportunities for myself, and I always wanted to get into sales. So I started with this new roofing company, and they actually had no training and no mentorship for me when I joined. So I just kind of had to figure it out or starve. So I read hundreds of books. I watched thousands of YouTube videos, especially on Jeremy Miner and the door-to-door guys. And then I just went out and ground it out. I knocked on 200 doors per day in January and February in the cold. Didn't really get any sales. I struggled for those first 2 months. I got a couple sales kind of at the end of February until March came around, and we actually had a storm. For roofing reps, you know, that's like a gold rush. So all of us just, you know, harassed all these homeowners in the storm. And I went out and outsold everyone in the company that month just off that one storm, including the experienced guys. So did so well, they started putting me in a training position to train the other reps. So some things about me is I'm looking to pursue high ticket sales full time. I want to actually be focusing on my sales skills rather than all this other stuff I got to do for the company with the insurance and project management of the construction process. And I've invested thousands of dollars in some actual sales training and mentorship with the Paid in Full program. And I've just been grinding it out with them for the past month, training, doing mock calls, one-on-one coaching, group calls. And, you know, they've given me the green light. They say I have the skills to go be successful in this now. So some things about me, again, I play to win. I'm here to be really good at what I do, not just show up and take home a check. I'm here to generate as much money for myself and you guys as possible. I'm a fast learner with these examples, as you can see, and I take responsibility for my own success. If I'm not doing something well, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to do it right. I'm consistent and disciplined, and I'm emotionally aware and in control of what I'm doing. So if there's something wrong, I'm going to keep it cool. I'm going to keep it level. And even if there's something going really well, I'm not going to act manic. I'm going to control myself and make sure I'm doing what I need to do to continue being successful in the long term. So I'm sure that all sounded great to you guys. You can feel free to reach out to me. Here's my contact info. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you.
Once you guys record this Loom, okay, this is very, very important. A lot of people want to outreach to the actual influencer. Okay, do not do this. The actual influencer, 90% of the time, is not the one doing the sales process. You got to find the guy who's hiring the sales reps, and it's usually not the influencer, okay? It's usually the growth operator or the sales manager. Whoever it is, you need to find that guy, okay? Because that guy is going to find value out of you. Doing stuff like this and finding the sales manager, finding their current setters, finding their current closers, this is what's going to put you ahead of 90% of people, and 90% of people are not smart enough or willing to go the next level. So let's just say you want to work for Alex Eubanks. Doing a mentorship right now, doing personal branding mentorship. Say I wanted to work for him, okay? Basically what I would do is I would go through his entire sales process. I would hop on a call with one of his closers or setters. I would either pitch myself there or I would get his name and then DM his Instagram because I assume that Alex is following him. Or once you get his name, you can pretty much look him up on Instagram. It'll probably say like remote sales in his bio. You can DM him, you can network with him, you can figure out a way to get into his circle to pitch yourself. The girl that we just saw on YouTube, full-time trader, she sells a mentorship. Join my community, get funded, my trading journal. Accept, become a member, first name, last name. Okay, once you fill out your first name, last name, email, 90% of the time, you're going to get a call or text from one of their sales reps. The goal of this is to not join the mentorship, but it's to get the name of that sales rep so you can DM him and try to figure out who the sales manager is to pitch yourself as a rep. Okay, this goes very, very deep. 90% of people are not willing to do this, and that's why they don't get on a good offer. So if you could do this, you're probably going to network your way to a good offer. Do this to a bunch of people. All that whole list that you wrote down, opt into their sales process, get the name of the sales rep, try to pitch yourself to that sales rep. If you can't pitch yourself to them, just keep doing it over and over. Find the sales manager. Okay, this is the best way to do it because usually what happens is you'll get a text or call that says, hey, this is, Jeffrey with Tory Trades team. You look up Jeffrey, you look up who Tory Trades is following, you see if there's a Jeffrey, you see if it says remote sales in his bio. You figure out a way to find the sales manager or find different reps on their team to see if they have any openings, because chances are they probably do, especially if you're a pretty well-spoken person. Once you have your list of all the influencers that you want to work for, and then you also have the sales managers or different sales reps, now you're going to send that Loom video that I was talking about earlier that you should have already made to those people, okay? In that Loom video, a few tips that you should be looking for is number one, if you have zero sales experience, you could still put what you've done in the past on there. If you've been a server, you could basically be like, I know how to upsell, cross-sell, I've invested in myself. Biggest thing that they are looking for is that number one, you're well-spoken, number two, you're coachable, and number three, you're US-based so you don't sound like a scammer. Okay, that's all they're really looking for. If you are a coachable person, there's going to be a sales manager who's going to help you out. They just don't want people who are like, working a job full time. They only have an hour a day. This is a job, right? So if you can make 6 figures a year doing this, they're going to want people who actually treat it like a 6-figure a year job. That's exactly what you're looking for. It's so unbelievably easy. I will put 50 screenshots of students who have gotten an offer with zero sales experience in the past month inside of my program. I'm not trying to sit here and plug my program, but we get the most insane results I've ever seen out of anything. They're all people with zero sales experience who just used our network. That being said, guys, this is not rocket science. Just understand what they're looking for. A lot of people ask me, if I have zero sales experience, how am I ever going to get hired? I made well over $5,000 my first month in this industry. I had zero sales experience. I was working at a restaurant as a server. You just have to sell yourself. You're selling yourself to these people because at the end of the day, if you can't help them make money, there's no reason for you to be on the team. If you can help them make money, then you have a spot on the team. Their whole goal as a sales rep is you need to be an ROI positive person for their team. If you can help them make more money, it makes sense for you to be on the team. When sending your Loom video to these sales managers and growth operators, there's no right way to do it, okay? To be completely honest, there's no exact, this is what you're supposed to say, this is what you're supposed to do. Just understand the whole concept of you want to provide value to them. They don't owe you anything. You have to provide value to them. Put them under the impression that you can help them make more money. Here's how. You're willing to put in hours and hours a day, that you'll call old leads. Say stuff that lets them understand that you are there to help them grow. Doesn't matter your true intentions. Let them realize or let them understand that you are there to help them make more money. That's it. Start to reach out to them, okay? Do 50 to 100 emails a day. I know you guys wanted some secret sauce, but this is what you do, okay? Once you find the business owners you want to work for, you just got to be persistent, okay? Send them emails. It's going to take a lot of time, okay? This is going to take time. It's not going to take an absurd amount of time, but you just have to keep moving. I've seen people send 1 Loom and get on a job. I've seen people send 50 Looms and for some reason nobody was hiring. You just have to be persistent and just keep playing the game. Every single email you send, every DM you send is a lottery ticket and you might win. So that is one of the time-consuming methods, okay? That's if you have nothing but time, you have no money to invest, we can do that. If you guys have a little bit of money to invest, I recommend getting into a community, get into a group. Obviously, I'm going to plug my own group. We have over 100 different offers with massive influencers every single month come through our program. I'll send some examples right here. This is the quickest way. If you feel like you're good at sales and you have a little bit of money to invest and you don't want to waste any time, this is the quickest way to actually get on an offer. But yeah, I'll put some results here. I'll put some student results. I'll put some of the offers that we currently have up just so you guys can see them. Yeah, the reason that we're looking for a good sales rep is because we manage some of these offers. We work with these influencers and they constantly need good reps to hop on. There is too many offers than sales reps. Supply and demand does not make sense for this industry. That's why you can make so much money, is because there's such a need for good sales reps. I say this in every single video, but anybody realistically can do this. But if you happen to be a well-spoken person from the US, UK, or Europe, you have an advantage over everybody else. I just want to put that out there. So once you guys find the list, you reach out to somebody and you finally land an interview, here's some interview tips that you guys are going to want to know about. Is number one, Be well groomed, look okay, get a haircut, look normal for the most part, okay? Be somewhat professional. You don't have to wear like a suit and tie. Just be somewhat professional so that they know you're gonna represent the influencer well, okay? That's the biggest thing. You just want to represent the influencer well. And I see a lot of people in this industry, they're super unprofessional. They sound mumble. They don't sound very good. If you're somewhat professional, you're going to lap these people in the long run. Number 2 is have a decent background, okay? A lot of people say that the background doesn't matter, but it 100% does. You don't need some beautiful background, but just don't look like you're in like a dorm room or, I go to a hotel lobby. When I used to live in my dorm, I'd go to a hotel lobby. It had a nice background. It was quiet. Figure out a way to have a decent background so you can have some sort of leverage over yourself. Be likable, okay? Be likable, be authentic. They're not necessarily looking for the most experienced sales rep in the entire world. They just want to know that you're going to represent them well. You're going to be coachable. You're just going to be an asset for their team, okay? You're not going to screw them over, steal their leads. You're not just going to do some weird stuff. Just be a normal person, be likable, be authentic, and just tell them that you're going to work harder than anybody else they've ever seen. And I know a lot of people say that, but if you say it the right way and you're actually authentic, and there's really no way you can possibly lose. A little bonus tip, okay, write down these questions. It's number 1, how much revenue are you guys doing per month? If you ask that question, you're automatically going to give yourself a little bit of leverage because they're going to be like, okay, this guy is not just looking for any old offer. Because if you go on to an interview and you say something like, oh, I'll work for free, like I'll do anything for you guys, like I really don't care how much I'm making, I just, want to get experience. I know that you're not really knowing what you're talking about. I want to let them know that you're not just in it for the experience because you're brand new. They want to pay you, okay? Because payment is obviously a huge incentive for anybody. So if you're getting paid a lot of commission, you're going to work pretty hard. So just ask them how much revenue are they doing per month? How much are the top setters and closers making? And just ask questions like that so they actually understand that you want to do this to get paid as well, okay? Because if you're just doing this for experience, if you're doing it for free, chances are you're not going to work as hard as someone that's making $10,000, $20,000 a month because obviously they want to keep getting that paycheck. So hopefully this video gave a little bit of insight on what you guys should do and gave you guys a little bit of direction on how to find business owners and how to actually reach out to them the right way. See, if you guys just want to streamline this process and want guaranteed job opportunities, apply down below to our Discord. We have a free Discord where we give out free information, and then we also have a placement agency where we have a ton of influencers that work with us that need good sales reps. So we do a little bit of training. We train you guys up, make sure you guys understand the scripts. We show you guys live calls. As we go through all that training with you guys, we place you guys on offers that we're currently working with. But overall, hopefully you guys gain some sort of knowledge. Just understand that this industry is doing nothing but growing. So if you can get into it early and you can start to make a lot of money with it, you will never have to work a normal job again, okay? You don't have to do sales forever. I don't think that's anybody's goal, but you can use this as a way to break out of your job, start to understand business a little bit more, and just overall open up some freedom for yourself. Having the freedom to work from your laptop has changed my life completely and has changed tons of people's lives. I've seen construction workers do this. I've seen door-to-door guys do this. I've seen pest control guys do this. I've seen solar guys do this. I've seen restaurant workers do this. I've seen everybody under the sun be able to come into this industry and make some sort of commissions because the demand is so high. Everybody and their mom is an influencer trying to sell a course right now. There's billions of dollars that is being made every single day online, so why can't you get a piece of it? All right, so you guys know how to set, you understand the mindset, you understand everything about landing your first position, so you've been a setter, so now let's start to close. All right, so first I'm gonna run you through our exact closing script that I used and that a lot of people in my program use as well. And then I'm also gonna show you a live closing call. I don't know anyone else on YouTube that's giving you this much sauce for free, so please like and sub if you guys like it. All right, YouTube, this closing script I'm about to go over has closed me $325,000 in 30 days, which yielded me $32,000 in commission. Pretty good. All right, I was closing at about 72% rate with this exact script, so I'm gonna go through exactly A to Z what the script is, and so you guys can copy it from A to Z pretty much. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what the script is, why it works, and why a lot of the stuff that you guys probably hear online doesn't actually work for you, and what is actually important in a closing call. So here are my credentials, 32,000 bucks, not bad. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. So before I preface this script and before you guys go and just say it word for word exactly what I'm about to show you guys, the whole point of why people buy and the whole point of why people get on sales calls is to get the prospect from where they are to where they want to go. That's it, okay? So the whole point of a sales call is to widen this gap of where they are to where they want to go. They weigh 250 pounds, they want to weigh 180 pounds, and the only solution to their problem is going to be your product that you're selling them. So you have to tailor your product exactly within the gap that you widen for them, okay? So if this person is signing up, or if this person is booking a closing call for someone that's giving them a diet guide and a workout plan, okay, you have to let them understand why their situation is really bad, why they need to purchase it today, why they haven't gotten to where they want to go. So if a prospect right here is signing up for a fitness program, or potentially signing up for a fitness program, and you're the closer, the whole point of your call, it doesn't matter what you say, is to basically take them from where they are, 250 pounds, overweight, not liking their life, not going to live long because of health problems, and taking them to where they want to go, where they're living their best life, they're in the best shape possible, they can play with their kids, their wife is happy. That's the whole point. You basically just want to take them from where they are, where they want to go, and widen the gap. A lot of people don't realize how bad their situation is until you ask certain questions to let them realize how bad it is, okay? And that's called widening this gap. So if you ask people certain questions, like for how long have you wanted to get fit but you haven't been able to do it? Now that you say it, man, probably like 6 months, actually more like 2 years, man. I've been really wanting, why haven't you done it? I've just been pushing it back. I mean, what's gonna happen if you don't end up doing this in the next 5 years? They start to think, they start to realize that if they don't take action, they're fucked. Something's gonna happen, they're gonna die, they're gonna have a heart attack, they're gonna leave their kids behind. People don't think about these thoughts because it's easy not to think about them. So your job as a sales rep is to ask uncomfortable questions to help them get to where they wanna go. You are helping these people, okay? And don't get me wrong, there's a ton of sleaze bags in sales, like 100%. I'm in this industry, I know for a fact, but you have to understand that the more you want to help people, the more money you're going to make. If you genuinely care about this dude, Jeffrey here, losing 250 pounds so he doesn't have a heart attack and leaves his wife and kids behind, you're going to make a lot more money rather than just trying to get a commission on him. Like, you want to actually find out about their situation, see if this program is even going to help them in the first place, and get them to where they want to go. That's the whole point. This concept right here is the reason why I was able to close $5,000 deals paid in full before I even knew what a script was, because I understood this general concept, okay? It's just the general concept of taking these people where they are to where they want to go. That's the whole concept of sales, and the whole reason we're doing this script is to emphasize this process, okay? So this is it. Also, before I get into the actual script, another huge thing is that when you break down life to what it is, okay, people in general want 3 things fixed, okay? People only want 3 things fixed. You guys can probably get this. Number 1 is H, is their health, okay? People want good health. Number 2 is going to be W, wealth. Number 3, excuse my handwriting, is going to be relationships, okay? So health, wealth, and relationships is the whole reason why people want to improve their life. They want good health, they want to live long, they want good wealth, they want to be comfortable, and they want good relationships. So the more you can tie these 3 aspects into widening the gap, the more successful you're going to be. Okay, so write that down. If you guys have a pen and paper out, I would highly recommend writing that down, because health, wealth, relationships. So for example, if this guy gets fit, if this guy loses 250 pounds, I guarantee you, his business is going to be better. People are going to respect him more. He's going to be more of a leader because he actually takes care of himself. I guarantee you he's going to be able to get into a relationship better, or his wife's going to like him more, or his wife probably has a lesser chance of leaving him. Obviously, his health is going to get better. He's going to live longer. He's going to make more money. You have to add these aspects. The more you can add these aspects into this gap, the more successful you're going to be. So I just want to preface that as well. So, but yeah, let's just jump straight into the closing call, what you guys need to know. So number 1, the start of the call, the whole point is to make them feel less pressured. Okay, they're probably nervous hopping on a call with a sales rep because one of 2 things can happen. You're going to take their money, or you're going to make them feel really shitty about not taking their money. So you just kind of want to get them in a friendly state, a disarmed state, and just kind of talk to them like they're a person. Talk to them like they're a friend. Usually how you do that is you don't do all the small talk stuff. You don't go, where are you from, man? How's the weather, man? Like, you just want to just get straight into it, see how they are, and just kind of see if you can help them out in the first place. So the first thing I always do is I make sure their camera is on. Okay, it's really a respect thing. You make sure they're not in a car or like the gym or anything like that. You want to make sure they're in a quiet place, giving you attention. That's going to be the biggest thing. But that's just like a little preface before the call. But you just ask them if they can see/hear you. You transition to the call. And the first question I always ask is, what kind of motivated you to reach out? What made you want to hop on this call today, man? That's the first question I always ask, is what is the motivation for them hopping on the call? That's the biggest thing. What about, so for example, if you're selling a fitness program, what about Jeffrey's fitness content kind of resonated with you or motivated you to hop on today? That's the first question I always ask. What is the reason that they are on the call? Get them speaking right off the bat. So that's the first thing I hop in. I don't ask how the weather's doing. Sometimes I ask where they're based out of, but I really keep the small talk to minimal, because the whole point of this is trying to see if we can help them get from where they are to where they want to go. So I jump straight in the call. So number 2 is going to be discovery, okay? This is where you start to widen the gap. You start to find out where they are right now, why they haven't gotten to where they want to go. You start to get a general feel for who this person is, what their situation is, what their goals are. And Spoiler to 97% of people in the entire world, we all kind of want the same shit, okay? Every single person, after being on hundreds and thousands of sales calls, every single person wants the same thing. They want good health, good wealth, good relationships. That's the same thing. Everyone wants to hit that 10K month. They want to be jacked. They want to be energized. Everyone wants the same things. Think about why you're watching this video right now. You want to be able to increase your life. You want to close more sales, to make more money, to have a better relationship, to take your girlfriend out. Whatever it is, we all want the same stuff. So if you can just kind of look internally on what you want out of life, you can probably resonate with the person across the screen. So obviously every situation is different. People do it for different reasons, but we all want that same end goal. So you just have to find out why they want that end goal. What is it for is it because they want to retire their mom? Is it for their kids? Why do they want the end goal? Why do they want that end goal? So you're going to want to kind of recap their current state. So usually on a closing call, you have a setter that gives you notes. Okay. So you want to ask something like, hey, I heard you reached out about potentially getting help with your fitness goals, losing a few pounds, but you've had some struggle in the past. So usually you just want to recap their current situation. Just say, I don't want anything to get lost in translation, but I know you talked to Jeffrey before this. He said that you wanted to, kind of get some help with your fitness goals. Is that correct? Yes. So you want them to acknowledge exactly what they said. You want them to acknowledge and understand why they're on this call again. Okay. So this is a recap of their current state and their desired state. Okay. So I heard you talk to Jeffrey about potentially, losing 10 pounds, finally getting to that shape you want to be, but you've had some struggle. So you want to make them commit to their situation by admitting to what they said, so they can't really go back on their word. This is something that they actually want to do. And this may sound sleazy in here, but you want to help these people out. So you want to make sure that they are verbally committed to saying the reason that they hopped on this call today. So yes, you want them to acknowledge what he said, and you want them to say it on their own. So from here, okay, the whole point of this is to ask deeper questions to understand their real needs or motivations behind what the prospect is saying. You ask them questions very simply. These are just examples of questions that you can ask. I actually have a full script link down below of a plethora of questions you can ask to get these answers. Down below my Discord, first link in the bio, click that, it's completely free. You ask questions to them. Why do you think that's been a challenge? What have you tried so far to fix it? Why hasn't it worked so far? How long have you tried that for? What's stopping you from getting you from where you want to go? How is this affecting your day-to-day? What happens if this doesn't get solved in the next 6 months? You ask them questions like that to get them to say a very, very specific reason. So you probe these questions, and a lot of people, they ask questions just to ask questions, okay? The whole point of you asking these questions is to get an answer. You're looking for a specific answer. You're not just looking for an answer like, oh, I'm looking to lose 10 pounds. No. You're looking for an answer like, I'm looking to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months so that I could see my kids grow up and not worry about health problems and get more respect in my work to be able to make more money to support my wife. That's an answer you're looking for, okay? And so the only reason you're asking these probing questions is to get a well thought out, goal-oriented answer that has to do with like their emotions, that has to do with their family, that has to do with something deeper than just them wanting to lose 10 pounds or just them wanting to make more money. It has to be something deep, okay? So that's the whole reason you're asking these probing questions. So once you get an answer like, yeah, I want to lose 30 pounds so I, no longer have health risk and I can see my kids grow up and I can make more money at work, that's an answer you're looking for. Okay, so once you get those answers, you're going to want to pre-handle their objection. Okay, so a lot of people think that a closing call has to take 45 minutes, an hour long, but if you can ask these questions correctly and you can get those answers quickly, you can just move on to the next step. So once you check this box off, okay, so once you found their discovery, you find exactly where they want to go specifically, you got to pre-handle their objections. So obviously at the end of the call, if you're going to hit them with a $3,000 price point, there's going to be objections that come up like, oh, I need to talk to my wife about it, or I need to think about it. It's a lot of money. So you have to pre-handle these objections so that they don't come up later. Okay, you want them to verbally pre-handle these. So an example of that is you ask them a question, have you invested in any sort of high-level fitness program before? And they're going to say either one of two things. They're going to say yes or no. And this can go for any topic. Have you invested in any day trading program before to help you get to where you want to go? No. Okay, so if they have invested in a program, you're gonna ask them, did you get the results you wanted? Were other people getting results? What's the difference between you and them? Chances are they're gonna end up saying, yeah, other people did get results. I didn't fully put the work in. Why? Oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. So you want them to pre-handle the objection of, I've already tried other programs and it didn't work. That's why you're asking those sort of questions. If they have never invested in anything before, you're gonna wanna ask them what they previously tried. What did you try in the past? What prevented you from investing so far? How important are your goals to you? Whose responsibility responsibility is it getting to that final fit stage that you want to get to? Whose responsibility? Is it me or yours? You want to change their way of thinking, okay? Because they've never invested. So chances are the objection is going to be fear, because they've never put money down. So they don't know if it's going to work. So you have to ask these questions. You have to let them understand that what they previously have done isn't working, and it's never going to work because it hasn't done for them in the past. So you have to let them understand what has prevented them from investing so far. I've just been scared. Boom. So you have their objection. You can handle that. If you guys don't know how to handle fear objections, I'm dropping a video next week. So make sure to like and sub on how to handle every single objection in the book. So watch out for that. Like and sub. I'm about to drop a video on that, so don't worry. Pre-handle those objections. Ask these questions to pre-handle them, okay? So this is pretty simple. Each of these steps should probably take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes once you do it correctly. You pre-handle, you ask these questions if they've invested or why stuff hasn't worked in the past. Once you discover you have where they are, you have why they haven't gotten to where they want to go, you have a set in stone emotional based goal that they want to hit that they haven't been able to hit in the past because they've never invested or their previous program didn't work because they didn't put the work in. The responsibility is on them. You have to make an ideal criteria. So you have to ask what they need exactly in a program just to make sure it's a good fit, okay? So you can tailor whatever they say to the program that you guys have. What do you need in a fitness program to be able to finally get more fit specifically? What do you mean by, you need weekly calls? I need someone looking at my diet, this and that. Okay, do you feel like you need a diet plan? What else do you need? What specifically do you need from us to be able to guarantee your success from where you are to where you want to go? What exactly do you need from us to guarantee that you're going to be able to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months to be able to, go out with your kids, play basketball with your kids, make more money, get more respect at work? What exactly do you feel like you need from us? Because the last thing I want to do is recommend you something that might not be a good fit. So what do you feel like you need? They're going to go through everything, okay? What kind of support do you want with your diet plan? What kind of support do you want with your fitness goals? How should someone train with you to do X? What are XYZ? Why are XYZ important to you? Boom, boom, boom. You get exactly what they need. You probe until you feel like you have every single point of interest that they need in this program. Number 5, so once you have their ideal criteria, you put this in their life, okay? You put exactly what they said they needed into their life to make them imagine what it's going to be like if they actually achieve this. So you help them visualize it. You help them literally feel it, taste it, what it's going to be like to feel success from doing what they just said is going to give them success. So if we helped you with, XYZ, gave you weekly calls, gave you a 1-to-1 diet plan, gave you a full fitness workout from A to Z breakdown, what do you want to be in a year? Like if you actually put an effort to this and did this for the next 3, 6, 12 months, where do you actually see yourself in a year? Do you see yourself with a lifestyle difference? How would it feel compared to the person now? Like what would you be able to achieve? You're going to literally make them feel exactly what it's going to be like to achieve the goal that they said they can do. Okay, so they're going to be motivated. So you're going to want to ask these questions to make sure that they feel really good. And then the kicker of this, the whole reason you're doing this is to bring them up, make them feel so good, and then you hit them with the cost of inaction. So I mean, how do you feel now compared to that? So compared to that guy that you just described to me, how do you feel now? How do you genuinely feel now? How long have you felt like this for? So you're just bringing them through an emotional roller coaster, okay? You're letting them feel how it's gonna be to finally hit those goals. You tell them you ask them how they feel right now, knowing that they could have done that but didn't do that. What's that doing? That's called cost of inaction, okay? You make them realize, I'm gonna highlight this for the people in the back. You make them realize what will happen if they don't act today and continue to stay where they are, okay? This is perfect. This is so, so important. This is gonna get you that sale today, because right now, how close are you to achieving this? So you ask them questions like, how close are you to achieving those 30 pounds off? So what if you never get to experience having that fit body in your 30s? What if you never get to experience the feeling of what we just described because you keep choosing the easy path? Are you okay with that? Because a lot of people are. No? Time for a change. What's going to keep happening if you go down this path? Let them realize that if they don't make a change, they're fucked. Okay? Urgency, create some sort of urgency. What's the risk of doing nothing? What's the opportunity cost of waiting? They're going to get older. They're never going to do it. They're going to procrastinate just like when they're doing. So if not now, then when? So number 8, you can widen the gap if you want, but at this point, the gap should be so wide. They should know exactly what they need to do at this point. So then you pitch the program. The pitch should be very, very simple, should be very easy. You should know all the ammunition you have to shoot at them because you know so much about this person at this point. You know their goals, you know what makes them tick. So you go through exactly what you guys have, you go through the goal, you show it to them. You say something like, I think this can work for you. Do you mind if I show you some similar results of people that were in your situation that have gotten to where they want to go? Yes. You repeat what they said in the discovery page. You repeat the ammunition. You shoot back the ammunition that they gave you at the beginning of the call of why they even wanted to do this in the first place. So after you go through the pitch, you make them commit, okay? You make them realize So you ask them questions like, do you feel like this sort of aligns with you? Do you feel like this is kind of what you're looking for? Yes, it's obviously going to be because you tailored it to exactly what they need. What part do you feel like is the most beneficial to you? Just to make sure we're on the same page, do you feel like, so you guys realize that these questions, they're all kind of the same questions. They're just getting you to the goal of buying in and committing them. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to ask questions to ask questions. You ask questions to check these boxes off. That's the whole point. So after that, after you feel like they're bought in, you drop the price, okay? Awesome, man. For everything we went over on this program, it's gonna be one-time payment of $3K USD. You just shut up, okay? Once you drop the price, you just shut up. They know what to do. You collect the payment at this point, you onboard them, and then once you drop the price, one of two things is gonna happen. They're either just gonna whip out their credit card and pay, or they're gonna go through objections, okay? There's only 3 objections. Like I said, I have a video dropping in like 2 to 3 days going over every single objection. So if you guys wanna see that video, drop a subscribe, drop a like on this, because it's coming out in the next like 2-3 days. It's gonna walk you through every single thing you need to know about objection handling. It's gonna tell you everything you need to know about objection handling the right way, not some bullshit that people are just recording. Yeah, so hopefully that breaks it down. If you guys want this downloaded, okay, if you want this exact script that I just went over downloaded, click the first link in my description. It's a high ticket sales community that has everything you need in it. It has free resources, free scripts, how to land offers. It has everything you need from A to Z on how to do this. So click that link down below if you guys want this downloaded. We have the objection handling stuff. We have a bunch of stuff in there as well.
And then just help me understand, like, what was it that kind of attracted your attention to actually want to book a call here today?
Why is he on the call? That's the first thing you need to know. What actually motivated him to go out and reach out and book a call with us in the first place?
I've been looking at doing something in high ticket sales for quite a long time, and I haven't actually gone forward with it. So I thought that
when you say a long time, what do you mean by that?
Probably since about January. I thought about it for a start, and then I was like, no, it can't be real. So I pushed it away, and then some other stuff came up. So and then now I've got a bit more time, so I thought, well, we can give it a go. See.
Currently working a job, or what are you doing for a living?
I have got an apprenticeship in engineering at the minute.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, I'm not liking it too much, to be honest.
Okay, I guess
One thing I would have maybe done differently is instead of jumping right into what he does right now, I would have hit on the pain points that he just talked earlier. I would have asked the question like, so what changed right now? What made you want to get into this program right now rather than just keep doing what you're doing and just keep holding it back? But other than that, this call is perfect so far.
What makes you say that you don't like it?
The working environment's very dirty, and
Okay.
they've not got a lot of progression there today.
Right. Okay. How long has that been going on for? Like, you just haven't been enjoying the job?
I had to do training for 7 months to start with, and now I've just gone back to the company. So the training was all right, but the company stuff is a bit like it's not the best.
Okay, like not the best. that
No.
doesn't really clear up a lot for me. What does that actually mean?
When I go there, it makes me feel drained.
Drained. Okay.
So yeah.
Just from like the manual labor, or like what aspect?
And so this is something Cole's really good at, is he's really good at probing and getting a physical actual pain, because this prospect right here might not even know his exact pain. What about your job specifically makes you not like it? Oh, I feel groggy, my boss is annoying. Whatever the case may be, he's getting a specific pain point that this prospect might not have even thought about. It's just really digging those pain points so that he knows he needs to make a change.
Mentally and physically, both.
Okay. I guess how long has that been going on for, where you felt that way?
About a month, 3 weeks-ish, probably.
Okay, so
since I've gone back, so.
You haven't gone back?
No, since I've gone back,
Oh,
so
okay, I
yeah.
see. All right, and then over these past 3 weeks, like, you continuing to work the job, even though
Yeah.
it's kind of taking a toll on you. Like, what impact has it actually had on you, though, just staying in the job?
It doesn't make me feel good at all. I want more, but I don't think that's going to give me it, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, I mean, is that a life that you're willing to settle for? Like, just continuing to work the job? Well,
No.
why not, man? Because a lot of people do, pretty much everyone does.
He's making him settle and realize that if he doesn't make a change and he doesn't actually change something in his life, what is going to happen? Because a lot of people end up settling for this life, so why doesn't he want to? If he doesn't actually sit there and make a physical change and get over the line, nothing's going to change for him. He's going to keep sitting at this miserable job.
It's just, I've always tried to make my own money.
Right.
Well, I say always, since about 14, so six years with a year gap in between. I've made my own money. Not fully, but I've made my own money on the side. And
I see. Okay. So I guess what's the motivation behind like seeking out more advanced training and placement rather than just like doing what you have been and like hoping that you see results?
Well, I haven't actually been taking action, and action's the only thing that you need to do. So if I can take some action, then
Awesome. So in terms of like actually taking action and getting the help that you need, like what results are you actually looking to get out of getting into?
I'd like to make it either a job or.
So once he found kind of his pain points and his actual, reason that he wants to change, he's going to find his goals. What's the goal that he's trying to look for to see if we can even help in the first place, right? He's basically just figuring out exactly everything about this prospect, the pains, the goals, so that we can tailor our solution exactly to him.
Out of my job with it, I was wanting to do it to get into sales to start with, and I know it's got good earning potentials and.
Right. When you say earning potentials and like where you want to be, what does that kind of look like?
He's getting a tangible goal, okay? Whenever you're finding the prospect's goal, you can't just have, I want to make more money or I want a new car. No. You need a specific actual goal. So he's basically probing to get that actual goal before he can move on to the next point.
Well, currently with this, in 3 years, I'd be on 50,000 a year. And with this, you can be on, well, it depends how much effort you put in, and I'd be putting in quite a lot of,
Exactly. I mean, it's all based on skill set, right? Skill set plus opportunity. So, right. I mean, you getting to that point where you're able to hopefully quit the job and hopefully a lot more than 50K per year. Like, what's behind you actually wanting to do that? Because, like I said, a lot of people are completely okay with just continuing to work their jobs.
My dad's also an engineer, and he comes home from work and he's not happy half the time. And
right.
I don't want to have the same life. I want to have more opportunities to be able to work from, like, go to a different place and work from there, or location freedom. And I know it's everyone says location freedom, time freedom, and you're working more than actually in a job.
What does that actually look like for you though? Like, what does the location and time freedom look like for you?
So for me, it would be that I would be able to like work from wherever I want. So I like traveling, so I'd be able to go somewhere, be able to pay to stay there, work while I'm there, and then in my time off, instead of being sat at home, I'd be able to go and visit the places I've always wanted to.
Right, man. Cool. And like how?
So he's really putting him in the scenario that if this did end up working out and you put all the time and effort in and you ended up making what you want, what is your life going to look like? He's going to be able to see, he's going to be able to feel that life that he's always wanted, but knowing that he's not going to take action, he's never going to be able to get to that life.
How long have you wanted to do all these things for? Like quit your job, be able to have that time freedom, location freedom?
For a long time. I were doing shoe reselling, and I thought, well, that was never like, oh, I can make this a full-time thing.
Right.
But from that, it's been like, I can do something online that makes me money, and that I can bring forward and do full-time.
I understand.
So,
and go ahead.
So I'd say I've been thinking more about something properly full-time for about a year.
Okay, cool. And then, like in your current situation, just be honest with me. Like, do you feel like those goals and where you want to be, like, is that a possibility?
Yes. Well, not with what I'm currently doing, no, because I'd have to be working, and I'd get probably 5 weeks off a year, which wouldn't let me do what I want to do.
So with his current situation and everything he's doing right now, is the goal going to be attainable that he just painted out for Cole? Is that goal ever going to be attainable with what he's doing if he doesn't take action? He's just getting the prospect to say, no, it's never going to happen unless I personally take action. The whole point of sales is to get the prospect to say what you want to hear, okay? You never want to tell the prospect that, my product is the best. If you don't take action, you're never going to get there. The prospect needs to say that. So the whole point is asking probing questions to get the prospect to realize that if he doesn't get over the line, he's never going to make it.
Right, and like not being able to do what you want to do just because of your job. Like, is that something that you're willing to let stand in your way?
Well, I want to be able to. I don't want it to stand in my way, no.
Right. Cool, man. So over this past year or so that obviously you've been wanting to do all these things with the job, right? I guess what have you done in terms of like investing into more advanced training?
Not much. Nothing at all, really. I haven't spent any money in investing in sales training or any sort of training. I've just been watching the free videos on YouTube and stuff.
Okay. And then I guess just using like the free stuff, has that like really gotten you the results?
No, because I haven't actually applied it. I've just been like watching it and writing it down, but then when it comes to actually applying something, I've not known what to do. So I've not known the first steps or.
Yep. I see. I guess what do you feel like has possibly prevented you from actually investing into like an advanced skill set, like in the past?
We're about 10 minutes into the call, and we've gotten so much information on this prospect. We've gotten pain, we've gotten goals, and basically at this point, we're figuring out what has held him back from making some sort of investment to change his life in the past. Basically, what this is doing is it's pre-handling his objections so that at the end of the call, he's not going to have them, okay? And a lot of prospects do end up still having objections, but they've already said to themselves that they need to make some sort of change, so it's a lot easier for them to get over the line once you pre-handle these objections.
Spend money on something, I want to know, well, I know that if you buy it, you've got to put the hard work in, which I get, but if I don't want to buy it and then it be a waste of money.
Right. I see. So
Even
it
if
comes down to like the discipline aspect of it, right?
No, if I don't want to I don't want to pay money for something and then do the work, and then the thing that I've bought is still not good enough, even though I've put the work in for it.
Okay, I see. So that's what you feel like has prevented you from investing, just like this uncertainty?
Yeah, and the fact that they all some of them seem way too expensive for what they are.
I see. I guess.
And so at the end of the day, you can kind of tell that he's just a little bit uncertain that this program is going to help him get to where he actually wants to go, that this is going to be the program for him rather than, all the other people out there. So we have an exact attainable reason why he might not buy in the future. So we have to handle that objection before we can pitch the program.
When you say like,
Is included in the course. So some courses are like, oh, you get these 12 videos and then you pay £4,000 for these 12 videos and your whole world is going to change. And I don't see how 12 videos is going to make your whole world change. So
yeah, I totally see that, man. And in your situation, man, like, where is this way of thinking of kind of like putting off getting the help? Like, where has that actually gotten you though?
Nowhere, it's taken me backwards.
Right, man. And just be real with me. I mean, you've been very open so far. Like, what actually happens if you, possibly continue to allow this way of thinking to like prevent you from ever getting the skills you need? Like, do you think you'll actually see a change?
If I keep not taking action, then nothing will change, because action is the only thing that enables change.
Right. And so what do you need to overcome so that these next 6 months to a year don't look like what you have been experiencing lately?
I need for me, it's like.
And notice how the whole reason we ask these questions is just to get the prospect to think, to actually genuinely think. Like, notice how this prospect is actually thinking about stuff that he's never even thought about before. You know what I mean? Like, he's genuinely thinking about what is going to happen if he doesn't make a change. He's probably never had someone ask these sort of questions. So these deep hitting questions are so vital in getting people over the line. We have his pain points, we have his goal, we have his gap, and right now we're just figuring out why he might not end up making the investment on this call.
It's the start. So if I can start something and know which direction I need to go, then I'll be able to do it. It's just the starting of it, what I need to do at the start, and what the next steps are.
Right. Okay. I see. In terms of actually getting started, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel like you would need out of a program / community? Like, what do you feel like would be important for your success?
So we're literally asking him, what do you feel like you need to be able to get to that dream desired outcome that you just explained to us? What do you genuinely need? And then we just tailor the pitch to whatever exactly he needs.
Well, for this, you need something to do with mock calls, so you know what you're doing well and what you can improve on, and where to actually get started with looking for job opportunities for it, because there's things posted everywhere, but half of them are like not at all, and
right.
Scamming, like you get 50% commission for this, and it's just not realistic, is it? So
yeah. I guess when you say like being trained in the mock calls and that kind of stuff, like how would you actually like to be trained on that? Hopefully more than 50K per month, or not per month, 50K a year, being able to quit that job, all these kind of things, and like you getting to that point in your life, like how would things be different at that level? Besides just more so like the tangible things, like for you personally, how would it be different to get to that point?
Like what I'd feel, or
and like you said you have been wanting to, and we looked upon 6 months to a year from now and nothing's changed. Now, is that life? Is that a choice or is that a problem?
It's a choice and a problem, because I'd have chosen not to take action, and the problem would be that I would be still in the same position that I was 6 months ago. Or
right.
You can't see.
Right, but in this situation, would there be any problem if we had made the choice?
Oh, so if I'd taken action and attempted this for 6 months.
Right. If you had made the conscious decision and made the choice to actually go all in on yourself.
Yeah.
Then would you be experiencing a problem?
No, I don't think so, because I'll be trying.
Right. Cool, man. So let's kind of.
And so for certain stuff like this, especially on B2C, I would reword these questions a little bit different to make them more digestible. But overall, he gets the point across of, if you were to take an action 6 months ago, do you feel like you'd even be having these problems now? No. So what do you feel like you need to do? So the whole point is just to get him to say that he hasn't taken action. And if he were to have done this 6 months ago, he probably would be in a lot better position.
Show you a little bit around what we do. I know you were kind of telling me a little bit about what you feel like is.
So at this point, 15 minutes in the call, it only takes 15 minutes. We got so much info from this prospect. We have everything we need at this point to pitch the program. We have his pain, we have his desires, we have the reason he hasn't done this in the past, we have what his life's going to look like if he does do this. So now we have enough evidence to pitch him the program and actually help him get over that line. I can't show the product, but once we go through this, basically asking for the investment.
Over can actually help you, get to those 50K years hopefully and be able to quit that job that we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess why do you feel like it can though in your situation?
I've got.
And one thing I would have done is I would have gone over the 50K a year. I would have kind of expanded that goal, because 50K a year is so doable in this industry that we're selling. So I would definitely have said something like 100K a year, something like that. But regardless, everything else besides that is perfect.
The only real thing I do is I go to work and I go to the gym. So in all that other time, I can be working on this. So, so I've got time and I want to do it. So I don't see why I couldn't.
Awesome. So in terms of like investment and everything to actually get you started, pretty much what we would do is we process a one-time investment of 3K. That would give you full-time access, like I talked about, to literally everything we just went over. We would process the investment, get you started, onboarded everything, and you'd be able to start working as soon as today. But do you have any questions on how that works?
How does it work? Does it just send over a link to the email and then you do it by
No,
that?
so pretty much.
Something I would say instead of any questions, because that's just going to bring up any objections, is I would just say, how do you want to proceed from here? That's just something simple. How do you want to proceed from here? We take credit, debit, crypto. How do you want to proceed from here? That's something that I would say just to not raise any objections or questions.
What we would do it is I just collect some card details and we would run the payment right here on the call just to make sure it goes through. And then, like I said, I'll help you with the onboarding.
It wouldn't go through because I don't have that amount of money in my account, and I've got the savings account. It takes, I think it's 3 business days to come out. So.
Okay, so let me just understand here. Is it more like just uncertainty, or is it that literally we just don't have that amount in the account right now?
Don't have that amount in the account.
Okay,
So I would kind of go through a little bit of an uncertainty handle because he probably does have the investment in his account. He's just a little bit unsure. So I'd probably go through a reframe of to be honest with you, man, I mean, do you really feel like this is the program for you? Do you feel like everything we went over can even get you to those 5-6K months in the first place? But yeah, I'd be like, why? I would say that before I ask the question of, so is it uncertainty or is it just you literally don't have the investment? And obviously objections are going to come up, even though we pre-handled them a little bit. Objections are always going to come up. So this is pretty much the part of handling the objections and finalizing that payment.
would it make more sense in your situation if we were able to like break up the payments or something?
How much would you be able to break it up? Because I've got some training for skydiving I need to pay for, which is quite expensive as well.
Yeah, I got you. So I know you said you have money like in your savings and everything.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of like what's in your checking, what would you be able to do like as of today? Like we don't want to put anything in that position, but
Yeah, I'd only have enough left for the month, so
okay.
I didn't realise I had so little.
Well,
check.
But
Yeah.
I have a better understanding.
I wouldn't be able to do anything this month because I need to pay that on Monday, so I'd only have enough left for the month, so
Okay.
I didn't realise I had so little.
What's happening?
I've got okay, but the skydiving's 1,800, so I have 200 left for the month, which would
Okay.
be enough. So
And then all the other money is in like your savings, is what you said?
yeah, but it'll take a few days to come out. So I can't get to it.
So at this point, I mean, most people probably quit. Oh, I can't get to it, don't have the money. But this is the difference between A players and B players. We don't take no for an answer. So as you guys can see how this call is going to pan out.
Rest our process within 3 business days, it says.
Okay.
You can see up there. So
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. So what we can do, like I said, I know you said you have a little bit left in your checking or whatever. So what we can do as of now is we can put down just a deposit right now. Because I understand, you got to process the savings, all that kind of stuff. Put down a small deposit right now, and then we'll be able to process the rest of the payment on Wednesday or whenever it will come through.
it's just quite a lot.
But man, in terms of like the money and everything, like money out of the equation, is this something that you would?
I would do it if money wasn't an object, yeah.
Right. So do you feel like maybe you being tight on the funds or not having the money, do you feel like that's a problem, or do you feel like that's a symptom of the problem?
So at this point, we know he has the money. He has something to put down, but he's just scared. He's just uncertain that this is going to help him get to where he wants to go. So we're sitting here doing objection handling again.
It would probably be a symptom of
Right. Well, it's a symptom at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
Because if you
yeah.
had the advanced skill set of sales,
Yeah.
you had the right opportunity, what would come with it?
money.
The money. So in your situation, Jake, like genuinely, which is riskier? You can stay where you're at, continue to work the job that you said you hate, and just say, oh, I don't have the money. Or like
Yeah.
overcoming the hurdle of not having the money and actually aiming to get the skills and the health you need to ultimately do all those things that we talked about. Like,
Yeah.
which is riskier?
Sticking realistically, isn't it?
Right. So just help me understand. I mean, you've been very transparent with me so far. Like, is it more so just uncertainty, right, about putting some amount down, or is it just purely
It's something deep inside.
So that frame I would have done at the beginning of the call because it probably would have saved 5 to 6 minutes. But we got to it eventually because obviously he does have the money. He has something to put down, but he's just still a little bit uncertain.
That says it's a lot of money, you don't know what you're going to be getting.
Right.
And
Wait, so who says you don't know what you're going to be getting, though?
me, something inside me says that. But
Right,
I've
I
still
mean,
been
it's fair to
beginning.
say.
I know.
So it's uncertain. We've already showed him the program. We know exactly what he's going to get. We've been over this 5 times. He's just uncertain. It's just a simple uncertainty fear that he needs to get over.
Yeah,
What you're looking for is certainty, right?
yeah, I know. And you need to make uncomfortable decisions, and I don't know, something about.
Right. I understand that. And I know you said, you have to make the uncomfortable decision, right? Because where is making the comfortable decision? Because, I mean, we can look back the past 6 months to a year. putting off getting the right mentor, putting off actually taking that action, right? I understand, man, I completely understand. I was in your position at once, investing into sales training. Like the comfortable decision is just going away and not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But like where has making the comfortable decision, where has that actually gotten you as of now?
Sat right here.
Right, man, and just be honest, like what actually do you genuinely believe happens if you continue to allow this way of thinking to determine what you get the health you need?
Well, the things that are in my head as dreams would not happen.
And then, but you know, unfortunately, I mean, you're sort of on a bridge at this point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
On one side is where you want to be, right? Making all that money, being able to quit the job, and where you are today, right? Stuck where you are, continue to work a job that you hate, and all that's in between is really just action and commitment to actually get to the other side, right? And I can't make that commitment for you. No one that you know, your family, your parents can make that commitment for you. It's up to you, right? And you know, if you would actually back yourself and you would try, now the question is like, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail?
If I couldn't fail, then it's a no-brainer. You'd do it, wouldn't you?
Right, exactly. But how would you ever know, right? How would you ever know if you never actually tried in the first place? Because what has been the thing that's been happening in the past is just never actually trying, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to making a decision, man, usually two things are coming up. Either we're pushing for pleasure or we're running from pain. And I understand, like, what I'm asking from you is a big investment. I'm not saying that it's not, man. But also you getting to the point in your life where you're able to hopefully quit that job, have that time, location freedom, that life that we talked about.
Yeah.
I understand that the investment is a big step, but also getting to that point is a big step for you, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, how will you ever know? How will you ever know if you never actually take the action to do it?
So this is the simple bridge reframe. It's very simple. You literally just have to memorize these word tracks so that every single time this comes up, you know exactly what to say in the situation. And it's going to be the difference between you collecting cash and making commissions and you not. And also that you're helping this person get over the line. This dude is never going to change his life unless he actually takes action. So it's beneficial for everyone.
It takes to get there. You won't, right?
No, you wouldn't.
So the thing is, man, like either, you know, we draw a line in the sand today and we can work together to actually get you to that point, right? Work together to get you to that level. Or the other side of this is you just, you know, crumble back off and you go back to what you've been experiencing over the past year, which isn't a problem, man. You can do that. And a lot of people do. But it's up to you whether you want to stay on one side or actually get to the other. And so just for 1 second, man, I want you to start thinking like the 2.0 version of yourself, the version of Jake who's already making that kind of money. He's already quit his job. He's chilling on a beach, right? He's taking sales calls.
Yeah.
I want you to start thinking like him. What do you feel like he does in this situation? Does he put off getting the training that he needs because it's too much, because it's comfortable, right? Or does he actually take the steps and commit to himself to get there? What do you feel like he does?
He would probably take the training because he needed to take the training to get to where he was.
Would he probably do the training, or would he?
No, he would do the training.
Right now, I mean, and if you would step into his shoes, the question you have to ask yourself is, what do you feel like is the best decision that you can make? So you know, whenever you leave this call, you put your head on the pillow at night. You know you've done everything in your absolute possibility to ensure that life for yourself. Like, what decision do you feel like you need to make in this situation?
Probably to get the course.
Right. So what are you gonna do now?
I've got a question. So I have requested to change my bank account.
Okay.
So if I give you the card details from my old card, would that transfer over? Or
So all of a sudden, magically, he has another card that has a little bit of money on it. So this is a great example of you just have to get over his uncertainty, let him understand that if he doesn't take action, nothing's going to work. Cole ended up making $300 in commissions in this 36-minute call.
All right, so you became a setter. You understand the setting process. You became a closer. You understand the closing process. Realistically, nobody wants to be on closing calls or setting calls forever, right? It's a great way to make cash flow. It's a great way to save up some money. But for long term, the best possible thing you can do after that is do sales management, okay? So if you can move into sales management, essentially what you're doing is you end up getting commissions for multiple sales reps because you're pretty much training them. You're making sure that they're doing their daily tasks because you as a sales rep knows best. So it's basically top performers end up being sales managers so they can not only get commission for themselves, but they can get commission for their entire team as well. 2.5% of everything on top of their commission. So it's just a great way to earn some more passive income. This is a video actually meant for business owners on how to increase their sales management for their team. But you can take the aspect of what I put into this Miro board and essentially use it so that you can become a sales manager yourself. Because once you understand all these aspects of it, it's pretty easy to train and hire sales reps for other people. So 5 steps, get your mindset right, become a setter, land your first setting job, become a closer, land your first closing job, and then become a sales manager. That's pretty much the 5-step play to go from 0 to 30K plus a month. Let's get into the sales management module and hopefully you guys take notes on it. It took me a long time. Once again, please like and sub if you guys like this content.
If you're watching this video, your sales process most likely sucks, whether you know it or whether you don't. Whether you make $100,000 a month or $1 million a month, you are 100% leaving money on the table.
if you don't know about these few things I'm about to show you guys. You're wondering, why would I listen to this random kid in a hoodie? In the past 2 months with my own business, just implementing a few tiny small tweaks with my sales process, we've been able to add $30,000 a month in pure revenue with the same lead flow, with the same content, with the same marketing, with the same fulfillment, just with a little tweak on the sales process. I've also been one of the top performing sales reps for offers that do millions of dollars per month. So I know exactly what these people want, what they're looking for in the sales process of a super high performing sales team. So with that being said, the most valuable hire for your brand company, whether it's a software company, whether it's an info product company, is going to be your sales reps, okay? They are so insanely vital, and a lot of people overlook this. So the $1,000,000 question, is there a blueprint to hire killer sales reps? And it might surprise you, but the answer is yes. You probably have one of those sales reps on your team right now that you're just wishing like, oh dude, if I just had 10 of those guys, I'd make so much more money. And you're 100% right. You just don't know how to hire them correctly. If you're looking for really top tier sales reps and you're not going to put any effort on your end, it's just not going to work, okay? What I'm about to share with you takes a lot of work, but what I've seen from placing over 350 top performing salespeople across massive companies in the space, I've seen what an incredible sales process looks like, and I also know how to turn a good sales rep into an incredible one using this process. So I'm about to share this with you guys. Take notes on it if you're a business owner and want to increase your revenue through this process. Yeah, let's get into it. So number one, the most important aspect is onboarding and training. So many people miss this and then complain about how bad their sales team's performing when they didn't even onboard and train them correctly. They just expect other people to do it, third-party companies to do it, which there are companies that do that. I have one myself. But you shouldn't trust everyone, okay? Like you still have to do the onboarding yourself if you're the business owner because you know the business better than anyone else. So here's how I would properly go about the onboarding without like burning yourself out every single time you do it. So even though you've hired an experienced sales rep, you finally find someone you feel like is a good fit, they're still gonna be in the rookie stage, okay? You can't just throw them in the water yet. There has to be a few things you gotta go through with them. Number one is they should be listening to call recordings and live calls all day long. This should be their number one priority. They have to be listening to live calls and recordings all day long from top performers. It should be their number one priority. They have to have a KPI, whether it's like 10 sales calls a day they listen to. It's gonna default to the habits from their past jobs if they don't do this. So make sure to track this, okay? There are tools that allow you to truly see if they watch the recordings. Otherwise, they'll just get free time off and they're gonna suck. So that's very, very important. So make sure you track this part, whether they're doing, 10 call reviews a day with notes on the most important parts of the call. And also get them to work on the script. So alongside to listening to recordings, they should be reading the exact script that the person that's in the recording is using and taking notes on it. If they don't have a complete understanding of the script within this week, you can't start week 2, okay? So this is so important, this rookie stage. I don't care how good the sales rep is. If you close $10 million, I don't care. They have to go through this process because every offer is a little bit different and you have to see what the top performers are doing so they can replicate it. Week 2 is going to be semi-rookie. So this is basically the role play week. They're going to sell to you or your sales manager, preferably you if you have time on your hands. But if you have a sales manager, they can do it to them as well. If you don't have a sales manager, you have to have a sales manager because you have too much on your plate. You're too busy building the funnels, making the decisions that a CEO should make. You have to have a sales manager. So when the other prospect's selling to you, review the highest impact thing they can improve on, they're messing up on. So for example, if they keep fucking up the discovery, they're not finding the exact pain point that the prospect is looking for. So if you're training a closer, you want to break it down into step 1 is going to be the discovery process, right? So you want to make sure that the prospect is discovering. And if they're messing up a part of the discovery process, you communicate the issue, give them the correct example, and do it again with them right then and there and repeat it until it's perfect before you move on to the next thing. Discover it exactly correctly. And this is why a sales manager is important because you probably don't have time to do this. If you guys want to look into our sales management offer, you can do that as well. First link in bio. But yeah, just make sure that whatever issue they're doing, you go step by step within the sales call, whether it's discovery, whether it's future pacing, whatever the process is they're messing up on, you want to make sure that they're doing it. That is going to be completely week 2. Week 3, once you go through these 2 parts, they should be pretty much generally ready to go if your sales manager did it correctly. Week 3 is kind of half pro. This is where they start doing live calls. You get them on a half schedule, okay? You don't want your sales reps to burn all your leads. That's not worth it for you. So they're just gonna do a live call for half the day, okay? The second half of the day, they're gonna review those live calls that they did. Key is you're going to want to track during this part. Tracking is so important because you can never know what actually works if you don't track it. So you're gonna want to meet up with them 2 times a day. When I say you, I mean either you or your sales manager. In those meetings, you're gonna want to make sure that they're aligned on the goals, make sure they're motivated and train them. Review the calls they had, give advice and role play, okay? Motivate and train. That is your job here as a sales manager. That is basically what I'm talking to. I'm talking to the sales manager here, but if you're a business owner, this is what you should be showing your sales manager. Week 4 is pro, okay? This is where they should be independent. You can meet up with them once a week, but you gotta keep on tracking to make sure they're performing at their best, okay? And this is how you do it. This is a 4-week process. I know it's a little bit lengthy, but once you go through this process, you're gonna have a killer. You're gonna have an absolute killer that's gonna stay with you for years and years if you do it correctly, okay? So part number 2 is gonna be team culture. So vital and important. If you do step 1 and skip this one,
You're going to have sales reps that are lazy and complacent, sales reps that work the minimum just to keep the job. And if you master this step, you're going to get sales reps that love what you do, are trusted in the vision, and are always going to want to keep making more money and improving. So communication and tracking, very important. You want to motivate them daily. Our salespeople are high-performing athletes that need to be in the best mood at the start of the day. They need to be caffeinated, they need to be motivated, and they need to be ready to understand that there are incentives if they do well. They probably had an argument with their wife, they got stuck in traffic, something probably happens. These are people at the end of the day, so you got to make sure they're in the best mood every day by checking up on them, doing daily morning calls, sending them a text every morning, doing something to keep them motivated. So quick tip, go over testimonials in the program regularly. You're going to allow the sales reps to feel like they're part of something bigger, right? If you're getting crazy testimonials every day, like, dude, this is changing my life. You know, I just lost 50 pounds. I can finally do this. I'm going to live longer. The sales reps are going to be super inclined, and they're going to have a lot more conviction in what they sell. Salespeople can get into the habit of feeling like they're kind of the bad guy or kind of a scumbag because a lot of sales reps have, you know, terrible reputations, how the industry is. So if you're getting constant testimonials from the program that you run, that's going to make them feel like they're really doing good for the world and actually convicted in what they're selling, and remember the reason why they're selling. You want someone to push through the nose because they believe in the products and not because they just want to, you know, scum their way to a commission check. Okay, that's not the type of sales reps you want. And then the second part is going to be tracking. Okay, you want to talk to your salespeople regularly. Okay, one call a week, everyone gets together, they review the worst call they had, the best one they had, and an average one they had. If they're going below performance KPIs, they should go back to being a trainee, back to the baby steps, and if they don't improve in 2 weeks, they're out. Okay, obviously you have to have good communication with your employees, you have to have good culture. But at the end of the day, if they don't improve in 2 weeks and they suck and they're not doing KPIs, they're not a good fit, okay? They got to go. So team culture and competition. So it kind of gets a little dicey here because you don't want the sales reps to kind of start to hate each other, which I've seen a lot happen on, you know, sales teams and stuff like that because they're taking commission from each other and whatnot. You guys want to have a team culture together where you guys are a team and you're aiming to beat someone else, not each other, right? So you want to find a competitor or find someone, you know, hypothetically that does a similar business. The goal is to crush them, right? Or crush the KPI goals you had. You want to have excellent culture and really clear and strict standards, okay? If they don't close their first 10 deals, obviously they suck. If they don't clean up their pipeline, they're obviously lazy, they suck, fire them. And if they don't even try to show up to the sales meetings, fire them. It's not a good fit, okay? This is really, really important. This even applies if they're the best on the team. If they're not giving their full effort, they're not a good fit. You have to have clear and strict standards, and you have to let the sales team know. This really gets across clear standards of what you guys are looking for, okay? Clear and updated leaderboard of all time. This is me getting a $43,000 commission check and closing at a 57% rate for one of my offers when I was a full-time closer. To show you guys I've really done this, just flex real quick. Have a clear and updated leaderboard of all time, okay? This can increase their productivity by 30% because constantly they're just looking at the commission checks, they're looking at their close rate. So it's very, very important that they do super well. All right, salespeople are competitive by nature, so you need to provide them that competitive environment, right? And every single day you walk in your CRM, it should say, you know, Colby, Jeffrey, John, and they can look at it every day to try to compete. Money is the direct motivator. This can also bring something that they brag about. So do some sort of competitions, incentives, whatever, pair people up. So if you have 2 setters, 2 closers, do a competition, okay? The top performing setter and closer combo gets $500, gets a free pair of AirPods, whatever it is, do some sort of incentive so they can kind of compete with each other. Then cut the bottom 10% each quarter, okay? If you're not, you're communicating that it's okay to suck. If you're not cutting your shittiest sales reps every single quarter, you're just letting them know that they can do the bare minimum. So for the job application and interview, there's a few tips that you should do when hiring sales reps. I recommend one of these 2. Post job applications in LinkedIn. It's the basic way that everyone uses. I bet you've heard it thousands of times. Or if you really want to get good sales reps, go to high ticket sales training programs. And no, I don't mean those fucking kids that are buying Lamborghinis talking about, I made $100,000 a month as a closer. They're going to attract the really young, shitty sales reps. You need the reputable people that actually have good programs that actually care about their students, okay? I have a software myself with over 2,800 sales reps that are trained and ready to go. If you guys want access to find sales reps from there, click the second link in my bio. I'll give you guys access to that. But make sure to be clear on the compensation, the type of person you're looking for, OTEs and KPIs, and don't lie about the OTEs because the sales reps are going to know and they're not going to trust you and the work that they'll be doing. So just be completely honest in the job post and you're going to attract good quality sales reps. So if you missed this part of the interview is very, very important. If you mess this up, you're just going to be wasting everyone's time. You're going to lose your business money and you're going to be mad that you didn't try harder on the interview. If they're slow to respond to the interview, if they show up late to the interview, they're probably going to be slow with your leads. I like the concept of a person that does something somewhere, does it everywhere. So if they're slow, if they're not really responding fast, if they're kind of if they aren't really well groomed on the call, I wouldn't even hire them. These are personally some big things that I look for myself. Number 2 is know what you're looking for. Okay, I personally look for someone who listens, not someone who just doesn't shut up and doesn't stop talking. You want someone who listens and asks questions, someone that wants long-term vision and not someone that just keeps yapping. Okay, you need someone who listens. That's very, very important. And here's how to measure that. Okay, I ask them to role play and I give feedback on it. If they can take feedback with no ego, if you give them a little tip and they take it with no ego, perfect. If not, you've got no business to do with them. Anyone with ego in sales is the worst possible sales rep you can get. They're always going to feel like they deserve the best leads, this and that. Don't ever hire people like that. I don't care if they have 10 million sold. If they have a huge ego, I would not hire them. And then the last part about the interview is ask questions. I see a lot of people asking random questions. Use a structured set of questions. So you're not just chatting, you're literally tracking the questions that you're saying and you're benchmarking candidates side by side to see who's gonna be the best fit. So here's a quick little rundown of what I would do if I was hiring, managing, and actually incentivizing sales reps for your business. Whether it's a AI software business, an info product coaching business, anything, the rules apply everywhere. I'm gonna be dropping videos on sales process every single week on this channel. So if you're a business owner trying to increase your sales process, click subscribe, like the video. If you guys wanna see anything specific on sales process, comment it down below and I'll make a video on it. Other than that, if you guys want access to our 2,800 trained sales reps, click the second link in my bio and we can shoot that over to you. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys next week.
All right, if you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I've dropped literally every piece of knowledge I have about high ticket sales in this video. I was gonna make this video like 10 hours long, but there's literally not enough knowledge. I give you guys everything with no fluff. So this is pretty much the only high ticket sales video you guys actually need. If you guys want one-to-one sales training and you guys want guaranteed offers with over 160 influencers every single month on a job board, apply for Paid in Full Inner Circle. We have tons of student results. There's literally no way you won't get on an offer because we have so many that we're hiring for. If you guys want actual sales training from people that actually did it in this industry, click the second link down below. We're more than happy to have you guys in or at least hop on a call with you to see if you're a good fit, hopefully set and close you. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and sub if you want more high ticket sales content. And always feel free to DM me on Instagram. My DMs are always open.